Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Football live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me, as always, is my patty cakes, Pat Fitzmaurice, and it's you, the people, still out there rocking those playoff streets out here trying to win fantasy football championships. John, our producer, here running the ones and twos, and Merry Christmas to all. And to all, a Rashad White. Yes, that's Pat Fitzmaurice is the best writer in all of fantasy football. So he writes all of my material. You can hit him up over on Fantasy Pros on the X or wherever you follow Pat on social media. And I hope everyone's having a great day. I know you're saying to yourself, what are these two goons doing here? It's Saturday. They always show up on Sunday. Well, we told you all we were going to answer your questions early this week because of the holiday and because we had two games on Saturday. So we want to make sure all your lineups are set so that you can go and enjoy your holiday festivities, everybody. And Pat Fitzmaurice, I know we've got a lot of holiday festivities here to celebrate at Fantasy Pros as well. What did you think of that Puka Nacua finish on Thursday night, my friend? What a nice kind of bow it was to put on our season, huh?
Oh my goodness, that was really nice. And once again, rewarding his investors. And Derek Brown and I had an interesting debate the other day on one of our shows about who should go higher in 2024 drafts, Puka Nacua or Chris Olave, who also balled out on Thursday night. And, we determined that they are going to be really close together in the rankings, probably somewhere like in the, low end wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2 range next year.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think that's absolutely true. Of course, we got to check on the health of both of their quarterbacks too. Hopefully they'll be standing by the time we get to 2024. I'm with you. I'm already in my mind. I'm thinking so much about 24. I'm thinking about Isaiah Likely and do they get rid of Andrews? Like what? All these moving pieces are going to be fascinating next year. We haven't even thought about the draft really yet. I mean, we have, but we haven't in that sense and how those pieces are going to impact next year. But this is about now. We're living in the now. So we're going to answer your questions. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Drop them below in the chat. And don't forget, when you do, you also get to win this potentially. It is one of our amazing pieces from Trophy Smack. Everybody loves a Trophy Smack. And of course, you can get this right now. All you got to do is drop your comments below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you could win this fantasy football trophy from our good pals over at Trophy Smack. Look at that. It's glorious. It's fantastic. You can get engravings done on the bottom. You can do the whole thing. You can even keep it for yourself. You don't have to give it to the winner of your league. If you're the commissioner and no one ever respects you, you keep it. I don't care. Whatever you do with this trophy, that's your business, damn it. So enjoy it. If you want to give it to the winner of your league, fine. If you want to keep it for yourself, more power to you. But we're giving it away for free. So make sure you turn on those notifications, ring that bell till it goes ding, so you know if you are the big winner of the Trophy Smack Championship Trophy. All right, let's get to some questions here. Abel Meyer Jr., defense wins championships. Which defense should I start this week, Broncos or Seahawks? And I'm stressing out on who to start my RB2, Mostert or Walker. Thanks, Pros Bros. Pat, as far as the RB goes, I mean, how do you sit Mostert? He's got 20 touchdowns. Like, you got to play Mostert. This is not close for me.
Yeah, you cannot sit Mostert at all. And sorry, Joe, I got snagged on that. What were the two defenses again?
Broncos and Seahawks.
Yeah, sorry, I was just choking on my coffee. The Mostert question. You're absolutely not sitting him, so you gotta play him. I love Walker, but you have to play Mostert. And I have the Broncos ranked higher. I mean, I think like targeting the New England offense is a pretty good idea this time of year. And like I realize Tennessee is targetable too, but I think Tennessee is going to want to be run heavier. And more pass attempts means more opportunities to get interceptions, sacks, the things that give you fantasy points. I tend to think New England's going to be pass heavier than Tennessee will be this week.
Okay. Action Jackson. Hello, Pat. I need help at QB. Love all these matchups. Can start one. He doesn't love me. He just loves you. I just want you to know. Can only start one in full PPR. Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Nick Mullins against Detroit.
I think I'm going with Geno Smith in this one. Yep. Even if Trevor Lawrence clears concussion protocol, I really like the Geno Smith matchup. Tennessee is down to a lot of backup cornerbacks right now. A lot of nickel and dime guys. It is the 5 and 10 cent store with the Tennessee secondary. So yeah, like I'm pretty excited about Geno this week.
I'm old enough. My grandma used to take me to the 5 and 10 in Queens. She would go, "You take me there." That was like a big treat. Like you go to the 5 and 10, you could pick out some Army guys or like a toy or something like that. Woolworth, the 5 and 10. By the way, how about those Seahawks? Since they're ass kicking on Thanksgiving night, they've been a lot more competitive, haven't they? Just
They have been. Yeah,
saying.
they're another one of these teams that's kinda hard to pin down. Every time you've got them figured out, they move in a
Well, they
different
pushed the
direction.
Cowboys to the limit. They beat the
Yeah,
Eagles. I mean, think about what they've done these last few weeks. I mean,
it is impressive.
just saying they've been a little bit more. I look, Gino, I think is definitely that matchup too. You could really throw in Tennessee. Lou 32 Lofton. Good morning, gents. Full PPR. Russell Wilson or Trevor Lawrence at QB
I've got Wilson higher. Like, I just don't
and
I
healthier.
yeah, I just don't, and plus, Lawrence is down on weapons with no Zay Jones, no, Christian Kirk. Like,
hmm
yeah, I feel a little bit, not real confident in Trevor Lawrence this week.
Mullins or Minshew. This is from Tyler D.
Oh, man. I have
I know what
Minshew
I'm
ranked
saying.
higher,
Yes, you have to
but
have Minshew. You get.
the the Vegas yardage total on Mullins is surprisingly high. It's like
I know.
251 and a half point. Like, he's aggressive, but he's also not that good. Like,
I,
Minshew's a better quarterback.
well, that's the whole thing. I was like, Minshew's had more experience. I think it's just a matter of what gives you the best possible range of outcomes. I think Minshew's range of outcomes could be better. Just looking at it, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Mullins isn't startable, but Minshew I think has a little bit more ability for success. And look, Jonathan Taylor being back in that offense helps a lot. And Michael Pittman is going to play, it seems like, too,
Yeah.
from what we're gathering. So, we're getting all the weapons back. I think Minshew is a guy that, could potentially have a good one. Ashley H, Eagles defense or Chiefs defense?
I have the Eagles ranked number 3 this week. I
Oh,
like the matchup against the Giants. Oh, and the Chiefs are right behind them at number 4. So
I was going to
it's a
say that
really
they're
close
both
call.
cookie matchups,
Yeah.
maybe. So,
Yeah, boy, that is close to the point.
here's what, for what it's worth. I don't know why, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs right now. I feel like the Chiefs, from a defensive standpoint, like at home against the Raiders, like this is a big game here where you can kind of, if Baltimore loses, you're kind of getting back into that conversation a little bit. I don't know. For me, the Eagles have been scuffling. The Eagles look like a team that are starting to just wear out mentally. And I think that's always a very dangerous thing, especially on the defensive side. Not to mention they've had all these injuries. Slay hurt already. That secondary not very good. I would roll with the Chiefs here, but I'm with Pat. They're very close. Catfish OI, Calvin Ridley, Jordan Addison, Drake London. You can only pick one. Who do you want to take?
All right, if Trevor London or Trevor London,
I like
Trevor
that you
Lawrence
made him one guy.
if Trevor Lawrence clears concussion protocol, I'm starting Calvin Ridley. I know he hasn't put up good surface stats the last 2 weeks, but he's had 25 targets over the last 2 weeks, and I think he would be hyper targeted again. If those targets are coming from Trevor Lawrence rather than CJ Beathard, that's attractive. But if it's Beathard, then I think I would pivot to Drake London, who I have ranked like 2 spots ahead of Jordan Addison. And I know London's results have been all over the map, like with yardage. 1 week it's 100, 1 week it's 17. But like, I still think he's a really good player. He's the only good wide receiver in the Atlanta offense. And let's just hope
Yeah.
Arthur Smith cooperates and, draws up some plays for him.
Yeah, we can only hope. I don't think it's going to happen, but man, would I love to see a new quarterback and a new coach there in Atlanta next year. They are a coach and a quarterback away, Pat. That's
Yeah.
all they are. They are ready. I think the defense is good enough to compete. The division is soft. The talent is extraordinary. They've been in the league for a couple years now. By the time you get to next year, even Bijan will be a second-year player. If you drop a Justin Fields in there, if you drop I don't think it's going to be a Kirk
Kirk
Cousins
Cousins.
necessarily. I
Yeah,
mean,
probably not.
I would anything. You give me the pocket passer, I'm happy. You give me the athletic quarterback, I'm happy. No matter what it is, new quarterback, new coach, all of a sudden, I think
I,
Atlanta could be
I
really
would
good.
take Gardner Minshew there, Joe.
I would too. Oh, 100% take Gardner Minshew there. You could go to the playoffs with Gardner Minshew there. I completely agree with that. By the way, happy Festivus. I forgot it's Festivus. For those of you who celebrate, I hope everyone got the poll out of the basement and put it out there in the corner. And eventually today on the show, there will be airing of grievances, I'm pretty sure, at some point. Because I got a lot of problems with you people. All right, let's go to Gaetano Altiero. Addison or Ridley, half-point PPR. So it's like the condensed version of the last question.
Yeah, basically the same thing. If
Ridley.
Lawrence is playing, I'm
Yeah.
playing Ridley. Otherwise, I would probably pivot to Addison.
Yeah, no Kirk, no Zay. It's a skinnier target tree, potentially. Sean Dixon, start one. Cooper, Flowers, or Addison?
Oh, I'm going with Amari Cooper. I
There we
mean,
go.
like,
Agreed. Two
Flacco
for
has
two.
thrown 44, 45, and 44 passes in his 3 starts for the Browns. They are like freakishly pass heavy now, and ride the wave.
It's unbelievable. The Joe Flacco stuff is unbelievable. I love that he has almost as many touchdowns as the Jets passing touchdowns. Like that just
Yeah,
makes it makes my soul smile. In
oh, I
this
know.
holiday season. Warm and
Pretty
fuzzy.
amazing.
All right. Bjorn Rasmussen, Ty Chandler, or Lockett in the full point PPR. Now, Debro was talking a lot about Tyler Lockett potentially. And then Erickson was talking a lot about JSN. Do you pivot away from Lockett because you don't know if it's going to be Lockett or JSN and go with Chandler in a tough matchup? Or do you go with Lockett in the full point PPR?
Yeah, tough matchup for Chandler, and it's
Mhm.
possible Alexander Madison is back this week, and then we don't know exactly. Like, I think the
But
genie's
didn't the coach say that they're
he
probably
did.
going, yeah, that he's going to be the lead back or featured back or whatever that
I
verbiage he
think
used?
so, but we don't know whether that means, 70-30 or 55-45 as far as the percentile split of work between
It's
those 2.
fair.
So, I'm with you, Joe, in the general thinking, like, I think Chandler is a little bit of a better percentage play because I
Mhm.
think he offers you that safe floor with the touches, and Detroit does have a good run defense, but we know there's run catch versatility for Chandler. Lockett, like, it's a great overall matchup for the Seattle passing game, but you just don't know what the target distribution is gonna look like,
Yeah.
and we know DK is gonna eat. So,
I think
like,
it's
I
gonna be
don't
DK and JSN, but I think in the full point PPR, it feels like Lockett is a
well,
I guess here's the thing.
Chandler's gonna
Chandler
get
gets
his
more of the
receptions
touches, right,
too,
yeah.
so
Yeah. Maybe Chandler's the safer bet for opportunities. I think that's what we're talking about, right? Who gets more opportunities?
yeah.
And it's probably Chandler you could lock that in for. He's gonna touch the football more. So Chandler probably the better start here despite the matchup.
Small edge, yes.
Yeah, this is a good see, I like when we talk it out. This is what we do here. Robert Walker, PPR, Pacheco, or Gibbs? I don't know how you said Gibbs at this point. I can't.
Correct.
All right, Mike Skills. Morning, y'all. I see you, Mike. Full PPR, Rushy Rice or DJ Moore, Waller or Hunter Henry. And Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Merry Christmas, Mikey. Love you, man. All right, so what do you got here? Rice or DJ Moore? It's getting
DJ
trickier.
Moore. Like, I can't I
I
know
agree.
how good Rashee Rice has been
Mhm.
lately. But DJ Moore, Rashee Rice is a guy who runs a lot of wide receiver screens and hitches, and they just like designed to get him the ball and all these. Like DJ Moore beats people downfield for big play. Like
And
he
Arizona
is,
got beat last week
yeah,
so
he's.
bad in coverage everywhere. It was disgusting how bad it was.
I think he is going to fricassee this Cardinals
Freaking-
secondary,
I can't
and
even
then
spell
in the other one, Henry over Waller. Like I just do not want to be in the Darren
even though the
Waller
health was
business.
iffy with Henry.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Henry plays,
Right.
like he does have the issue, but like if he's on the
Dumb
field, I
question. If he
absolutely
doesn't, would you play Gasicki or would you still play
no,
Waller?
I
Okay.
then I'd turn to Waller.
Okay. Just checking. Rico Baptiste, Hall or Jonathan Taylor? I'm playing JT Fitzy.
Yep, absolutely,
Give
no
me an
question.
offense that actually scores points. 25% of games that Robert Sala's coached, the Jets haven't scored an offensive touchdown. 25% of the games he's
The
coached.
other crazy thing, Brees Hall has not had more than 50 rushing yards in a game since week 5.
Madon. That's terrible. CSP. Hey guys, full PPR, super flex. Pick 2 QBs: Russell Wilson, Gino, and Flacco. And I have Njoku. I like Gino and Flacco. I think they're just rolling right
Yep,
now. You
same.
know.
Russ is the sit.
Okay. Anthony Perkins. Merry Christmas, bros. I'm in the semis. I need a best flex full PPR. Drake London or JSN? I think you got to go with London here, don't you think?
I do too, Joe. Yeah, like we just talked about the ambiguous target distribution for
It is.
Seattle, and
And I like JSN. Like, I love JSN as a DFS investment. I
yeah,
love him as, like, I don't have any options. Hey, let's throw him into the flex. But I think when you have Drake London, who is the alpha, theoretically, at least in there, and Heineke's capable enough. Like, Heineke had games with Washington where Terry McLaurin blew up. Like that. Like, Heineke, there's a part of me that wonders if they had just played Heineke all year and he had stayed healthy, what that
yeah.
Falcons record might be. But at the same time, I think it's philosophical too, where the OC and the head coach just can't wrap their mind around feed the beast. Just feed the beast. Like, what are we doing here? Ugh.
Yeah,
God.
there are certain guys in the NFL who like they think they have better arms than they do, and I don't mind having those guys for like connected to my fantasy receivers. Taylor Heineke and Nick Mullins fall into that category.
Does
Like
Minshew's almost there too, right? He's like on the
a little
peripheral.
bit, like he's not quite as devil may care with where he puts the football, but those guys, the
A little bit.
those guys are like the guys who gray coaches
Yeah.
hair, like
Yeah.
so.
You know,
But
how
you like
bad,
having your pass catchers
how
tethered to them.
frustrating for us, Pat, by the way, that we had like, we thought, oh, Arthur Smith, the guy who fed Derrick Henry until he couldn't run anymore. And now he gets Bijan Robinson and he just refuses to give him touches the football. How frustrating is that?
You obviously Mike Vrabel was saying give Derrick Henry the football
Yeah,
because like
seriously.
yeah we need someone to give Arthur Smith that stern reminder, but now that he's the boss, there's no one.
Hiroshi Sawamura, happy holidays from Germany. Happy holidays, Hiroshi. Pick two, half PPR. David Montgomery, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Ken Walker. Go. Monty?
Montgomery and Walker. Montgomery
Montgomery.
has to play. I mean, like I know there's not much passing game usage, but the guy's touchdown odds are great in any given week, and they get him like he's always in the teens in
So
carries.
Walker against that Tennessee front as opposed to Jalen Warren against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, Warren is chopping it up with Najee Harris, and I do think they're going
Mhm.
to. It's just a volume play,
Okay.
and it
Fair enough.
looks like Walker is on track to play. There was a little concern about that, but I mean, he ate up a pretty decent Eagles defense last week. Like the Eagles haven't been as good against the run lately, but it's still respectable defense, and Walker chewed him up.
All right. And also half PPR, you're playing for that touchdown. I think Walker and Montgomery give you the best opportunity for that
Yes,
potentially. Steven Tejada, PPR, McBride or Kelsey. Look, I know we've gotten to this point, Pat, but I can't sit Travis Kelsey, not at
same,
home.
same.
Like Steven, we don't often say this, or I won't speak for Pat. I'll speak for myself. I don't want to put words in Pat's mouth, especially after he said fancy words like fricassee earlier in the show. McBride is a guy that you could flex, and we don't love flexing two tight ends, but he gets enough volume, in my opinion, Pat, that you can consider him as a wide receiver 3 at least. What do you think?
Agreed,
Right?
completely agreed. They are hyper targeting him, like
Like
Kyler
he's the
Murray
guy.
is. Yep.
And look, McBride was a great player in college. Like you and I watch a lot of college football.
Yeah.
He was an incredibly impressive player, impressive person throughout the draft process. I like the kid. I like got a great story. I'm very excited about McBride's future, and I'm glad it started this year too. He was another guy that I kept circling on my, I'm going to take a bunch of dart throws at tight end, and McBride was one of those guys too that I'm going to monitor because I don't think Ertz is going to make it through a season, and sure enough, he did not. Jennifer Hafner, our good friend Jen, I need two for the flex between T Higgins, Achan, Ty Chandler, and JSN. Thanks to all of you this year. I made the semis in 7 of 8 leagues. Jen is here every single live stream pretty much. So Jen's got the notifications clicked. Jen is joining us. Jen is using the tools. And that's why Jen is in the playoffs still in 7 out of 8 leagues. That is a tremendous ratio. Way better than mine this year. Way better than Fitzy's too. Now, I don't know if she's playing against, Adam Ronis and Jeff Radcliffe like I am in some of these leagues. But still, Jen, good on you, my friend. So what do we do here? Chandler, JSN, T. Higgins, Achan. Who are the two guys that are in?
All right, so JSN is out of consideration for me, and I'm a big HN advocate. Like I just can't bypass the big splash play potential he gives you. I mean, he's just so electric. I know he's been a little banged up, but I want HN in my lineup. That brings it
Yeah.
down to Chandler versus T. Higgins. Look, I'm going with the safe Chandler option and the touches he gives you. I'm a little bit worried about the T. Higgins Joey Porter Jr. matchup.
It's
Like
fair.
I mean, T. Higgins is really good, but and this is going to be an interesting audition for a wide receiver one role for him next year, where he's going to land in presumably in free agency with a team that wants him to be their lead receiver. So, but like he is facing a really tough cover man this
It
week.
is. I challenged Derek Brown a couple weeks ago about Porter. And I said, well, yes, Porter's played very well, but also how many alpha dogs has he played against? And we went through the schedule, we went through the matchups, and he hasn't faced a lot of great number one time wide receivers. And the one that he did, that wide receiver did not have the quarterback playing that week. So
Mhm.
this is actually to me a test of Joey Porter a little bit because I've seen T.
Yeah.
Higgins work in that one role. So I'll take the other side of this. I think Higgins is good enough to show up, and Browning certainly has been good enough. And you see that Browning will hone in on a guy. Like he is not afraid to pepper somebody with targets that he thinks is the best player in there. And I think that's important. To Pat's point, Chandler and HN are going to give you the most opportunities. And I think that's a safe way to go if you want to cut out all the riffraff and make it a little bit easier to target, get opportunities. Opportunities are points at the end
That's
of
the
the day.
thing, because Joe, like we're going to get some Trenton Irwin this week. We're going to get
My
some
God.
Andre Iosivach. We're going to see seven
The
different
Tanner Hudsons,
Cincinnati
we did
tight
the Hudson.
ends. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Hudson's plus 600 anytime touchdown scorer.
The only thing is they have like three other tight ends they throw to too. Drew Sample, Irv
It's like,
Smith, like all these
throw
guys.
$10 on everybody. See, one of them's gonna hit. Hedge, just hedge. Anytime touchdown for a Cincinnati tight end against the Steelers. Drew Lawley, help me, Tom Cruise. I love a good Ricky Bobby reference. Full PPR, pick one, Pop Douglas, Tyler Boyd, Romeo Dobbs, or Dontavian Wicks. Mr. Packer, you want to go with one of those guys? You want to go with Tyler Boyd as the secondary guy against Pittsburgh, or do you want to go with Pop Douglas, who's a tough sell right now?
Yeah, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I rattled it off. Like when Jamar Chase missed 4 games, I think it was last year, and we thought Tyler Boyd was going to smash. He didn't really
He
smash.
didn't.
Or
Different QB though.
was it T Higgins or Jamar Chase? No, T Higgins when
It
Higgins
was T
missed
Higgins.
time last year.
No, Jamar
So,
missed time last year too.
was it Jamar? All right,
No,
sorry.
Jamar missed time. It's week 16, Pat. Don't apologize. We're all just lucky to be here. Okay, we're put together
Yeah.
with tape right now, I think.
So I'm going with Romeo Doubs here just because like we
Okay.
don't know if Wicks is going to play. He's dealing with some sort
Right.
of ankle thing. So for me, that puts Dobbs above him. We also Christian Watson is most likely out, and we don't know if Jaden Reed is going to play. So Dobbs could be pretty heavily involved here in the passing game.
All right. Rissa 1382. Morning, y'all, and Merry Christmas. Butterfingers Cup got me off to a rough start. boy, we are vicious this morning. Look at this. Butterfingers Cup. You know, the guy who won everybody championships a couple years ago. Now he's Butterfingers. This is rough, man. Full PPR, pick 2. JT, Aaron Jones, Zeke, or Chandler. I'm going Jones and JT and just keeping it simple. That's what I'm doing, Pat. Your thoughts? Like, I know Aaron Jones scares you probably after this entire season of madness, but if you want to pivot to Chandler or Zeke, I get it. JT's definitely in. Can we agree on that one?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I do have Zeke ranked ahead of me, and maybe I shouldn't because like both of these guys have smash matchups. Denver and Carolina, the 2 worst run defenses in the league. But I feel a little bit more confident in Zeke's volume. Like I think that Zeke is going to get like 15 carries at least, and it could be closer to 25. And that's why I'm siding with Zeke over Jones. It's close though.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. What do we have? We've got Marcus Johnson, Hall, Taylor, Ty Chandler, and James Conner. Everybody, look, if you've got Jonathan Taylor, you start him. It's not a leg injury. It's a hand injury. Like, come on now. It's not like we're worried about him pulling up with a hamstring here, worried about like tweaking the knee, or it's not a leg injury. It's an upper body injury. So Taylor to me is a must start. So let's pick another one. Hall, Chandler, Connor. It feels like Chandler, right? From every discussion we've had.
So I've got Hall ranked higher, and we've talked about the concerns with that Jets offense and the concerns with him not having run for more than 50 yards in a game since week 5, but he does get heavy usage in the passing game, and we know he is the superior talent of these 3 guys we're talking about. Like there's no question.
QB this week?
Yeah, I know. Trevor Siemian was like functional in some past stints as a starting quarterback, Joe. So
I love that. That is our. It's not even. We've downgraded from capable to functional.
Oh man, I mean that is Jets fans would kill for functional. Like they wish they had functional all season long.
Well, he's got a heartbeat, folks. So he's got to play quarterback. He only has 1 arm and 4 fingers on that arm, but we're gonna give it a go because we think it gives us a better chance to win than Zach Wilson. Kyle Pfluger. Good to see you here, Patty Fitz, and you too, Joe Pisapia. Need to start 2 RBs, 1 flex from Breece Hall, Gibbs, Pollard, Swift, Rushy, Rice. 2 RBs and a flex. So this is fun. To me, you got to put Gibbs in there. You got to put Rice in there in the flex. Then you have Pollard, Swift, and Hall. Now, Swift has a good matchup on paper. Pollard has a high total game, and you just made your case for Hall. Do you see this differently here? Or do you want Gibbs, Rushy, Rice, and whoever you pick as the third like me?
Yeah, I mean, it Gibbs, Rice, and Pollard.
Pollard.
I think you have to go Pollard here. And I'm not, boy, he is RB8 in ECR this week. And that feels really optimistic against this Miami run defense, which has been lights out lately. Actually, the Miami pass defense, too. The Dolphins quietly have one of the best defenses in the NFL, as John, our producer, well knows. So, yeah, I mean,
I'm still RB11 on the year. For all the crap that everybody's given him this year, he's still an RB1, folks, whether you like it or not.
He is a talented lead running back tied to a really good offense. So I think he's the play here for sure.
Speaking of talented and back as in behind the scenes, John's birthday is on Christmas, our producer, John. So I want everybody in the chat to shout out our friend John, who you don't see him. You hear him when he drops the Google facts. When we get things wrong, he corrects us because we can't say anyone's name right some days. He is the straw that stirs the drink around these parts in terms of making sure we sound good, we look good, and believe me, this early in the morning, it's no small task to make me look good. So happy birthday to John. I want everybody in the chat to wish John a happy birthday. And there's no H because H's are L. It's just Jon. That's how he spells it. So make sure you get John in there and wish him a happy birthday because John's getting a slash present. That's gonna happen. He's gonna get a Christmas. It's not good enough. So let's give him some presents. Let's give him some flowers here today. Shout out John. He's turning, I think, 24, I believe, right? 24, John. Is that my off by 10? I don't know. It's impossible to know how old John. It's kind of tough to know how old John is. John's another one of these guys that doesn't seem to age ever, Fitz. How old do you think John is?
Oh yeah, man.
Is he mid-30s?
Can't be a day over 28.
Are you mid-30s, John? Is that where you are? Where are you, John? 34. I was right. Off by 10. Okay.
Good guess.
There you go.
What are slash presents? Is that like Stratocasters and top hat?
Yeah, you get a big hat with the hair underneath it, the whole thing. It's Wunderslash. In Austria, you get the Wunderslash. You ever see that South Park episode, Fitzy, about Slash?
I don't think I've seen that one, no.
The Slash is like Santa Claus, where he is all these places playing all these concerts at one time. It's a holiday episode. And how could Slash be playing this birthday party and also be playing a benefit concert somewhere in, Haiti or whatever he is? And he's magical. So he's known as Wunderslash. And he goes around and he gives people presents and he goes and plays music in all these places and you never really see him and you're not sure. And then eventually the parents tell him, well, Slash isn't real. Like, I'm the one that played at your birthday, or I'm the one that, played the guitar for Guns N' Roses for 2 years on the reunion tour. I'll send you an episode.
Find that. I gotta find it.
Hilarious. It's also the one where it's the I don't want to say it, but it's the athletic association where they're getting some children to play basketball. It's pretty amazing. Pretty bold statements. Pat, you'll like it. You got a great sense of humor. You should watch it. Brisk Life, Cooks, Jacoby Myers, Tyler Boyd. Tough options here for Brisky. Tough options. I feel like no matter which way you go, it's going to be wackadoo. So do you go with the best theoretical quarterback, which is going to be with Cooks? Jacoby Myers will be in a game where there could be negative game script where he's playing from behind. But again, you don't know that target share he's going to have. Or Tyler Boyd, who we think has a good matchup, but as you point out, Boyd didn't exactly pop just because more targets were available to him last year, but is a different quarterback. So this is a really tough one here, Pat. What do your rankings say?
My rankings say Cooks and then Jacoby Myers, who is only 2 spots ahead of Brandon Cooks in my rankings. So I can see why this manager is wrestling with this dilemma. Like, that is a really tough call. And I can
Myers is ahead of Cooks, by the way. I'm just looking now.
Yeah, and
back to back.
Right, that is really close, and I've sort of been underselling Jacoby Myers all year just because, like, I always worry about the quality of the quarterbacking with the Raiders and the presence of Devontae Adams, and like Myers' target totals are just, he should not be scoring as many fantasy points. He has outkicked his target totals so far. Like, he's a really good player, but like both of these guys are too limited target,
hasn't had a double-digit game since week 10. So can we all just kind of like put our mind around that a little bit? Now I know that's a caveat of Jamar Chase just eating everything like Pac-Man.
Right.
And maybe he does have that, like maybe that happens. Tyler Boyd also hasn't scored a touchdown since week 8. So I think we take Tyler Boyd out of the equation. So it's Cooks and it's Myers. So who is it?
And it's close to a toss-up between these sort of low target but high efficiency wide receivers. And I like Cooks just a little bit more because he is the better quarterback.
Now, don't forget, everybody, the holiday season can be a little crazy or a lot of crazy. Like if you're like me and you got a million Italians coming in and out of your house for the next 3 or 4 days. So what you got to do is make sure your lineups are all set and you don't miss any news or anything going on. So if you haven't already, look, I know it's late in the year, but there's still time. Download my playbook. Use the app, sync your leagues, and set it and forget it with autopilot. It's a great feature. It allows you to get all your lineups set automatically. Without worrying if people are inactive, you can automatically swap them out. You can turn on full autopilot to have your optimal lineup set for all these teams that you still have available that are going into the playoffs. Go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Go right now, or just download the Fantasy Football My Playbook app just to stay on top of all the news and notes for your specific teams. You sync all your leagues. You get individual notes for everything going on, and it is hard this time of year to keep track of everything between Christmas and New Year's with all the chaos of what's going on. Autopilot helps you manage the chaos. I wish I had an autopilot just for life, but we have one just for fantasy football, so that's going to have to be good enough for everyone. Let's go to Carlos A. Munez Lopez, start 1, Wan'Dale Robinson or Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby.
Yes, this is a Jacoby start. This is definitely. All right, F. Raul. I don't know. What did Raul do? All right, Bills or 49ers defense?
Oh, man. The Bills are my top-ranked defense this week. I think they are going to make things pretty miserable for Easton Stick.
Uh-huh. All right, let's go to Tyler Golly. Gee whiz. Full PPR. Ingram or Ferguson at tight end? Worried about
I've got
Lawrence. I would play Ferguson. Like, why not?
Oh, so yeah, I've got Ingram right now. The question is whether I would move Ingram below Ferguson in my rankings if it is CJ Beathard. Man, that would be a really close. If Lawrence plays, I'm playing Ingram because I know the target volume is going to be there with these wide receiver injuries
Okay.
for Jacksonville. But really close. Like I could see a pivot to Ferguson if it's CJ Beathard instead
My
of
other
Trevor
concern too
Lawrence.
is, Lawrence is really, between the ankle thing and the concussion thing, like I think Lawrence is really getting the crap beat out of him. This is a huge game here for the Cowboys to kind of get back on track a little bit because now the narrative is back. Like you can't win against good teams or good teams on the road. And now here's Miami, one of the best offenses, if not the best in the league. I think there's a good chance there that you get more points out of Ferguson potentially, but to Pat's point, Ingram is the safer play, especially if Lawrence is playing. But there's variance there too. Have the
Yeah.
concussions, you get hit, next
Hmm.
thing you know, he's in the blue tent again. And I don't want to leave my game to that. Like that's a tough one. I don't think Ferguson and Ingram are far enough apart for me to take that risk, even if Lawrence plays. That's my perspective. But Pat's absolutely right in his, which is Ingram is probably the safer play considering what's been in front of Trevor Lawrence here in terms of the receiver totals and receiver options that are available. Shannon Blackburn, Fields or Dak?
I've got Fields ranked higher. I've got Fields ranked QB3, Dak ranked QB7 this week. The Miami defense is tough. And, as well as Dak has played this year, we saw the floor last week, and it wasn't pretty.
All right. Shannon also wants to know Mixon, Pollard, or Chandler in the PPR.
I'm going Pollard here, although I think the Chase Brown related Mixon panic is being overdone, but I like Pollard a little more than Mixon.
All right. And last one from Shannon. Don't bro me, please. I can't promise you, Shannon. Look at the question. Sit Travis Kelce for Jalen Warren. That's what FP Start Sit says to do. Merry Christmas. And I feel like Shannon's kind of ducking. It's gonna take it's the holidays. All right. So I don't want to bro anybody today. So I'm not going to, but just know there's an inner bro boiling inside of me right now. I can't sit Kelce. I understand the frustrations, Pat. I get it. He's at home against the Raiders. Look, at some point, I think all these frustrations, there's too much talent on the Kansas City Chiefs not to keep betting on them any week. I know that doesn't sound like great fantasy analysis, but at the end of the day, it's good football analysis. So I'm going to go with the offense run by Patrick Mahomes, arguably the best quarterback on the planet, as opposed to the one run by Mason Rudolph. That's my analysis.
Agree. And also, like, before making that decision, Shannon needs to go back and check Travis Kelce's last Christmas Day game and the numbers
Last
that day.
Christmas, he gave us some points. The very next day, my roster gave it away. What this year? To save you from cheer? Oh, to save you from fear, I guess. That's what it is, really. You should give these points to someone special, everybody. Give these points to someone special. Alejandro Fabrega. Hello, pros. Merry Christmas to you all. I like that Alejandro didn't say y'all, too. I respect that. You said you all. Good job. None of this y'all stuff. Not when Derek's here. Full PPR. Tony Pollard or Mixon?
Pollard.
Okay, and who's
Flight
odd
edge.
man out here? Pittman, DJ Moore, Justin Jefferson, or Amon Ra? Well, it ain't Amon Ra. It ain't Jefferson. So,
DJ
right?
Moore, Pittman. I've got Pittman as the low ranked man, and like he's
Also not
gonna
100% healthy either.
not 100%, and it's not just the concussion. Apparently, he was limited on Friday with a shoulder thing that popped up too, or
Mm,
I mean, like that guy got folded backwards by that hit
he did.
last week. So, I think even if he were completely healthy, you could make a case for Pittman being the odd man out here. But man, those options are just so good that I think he's the sit.
You know what I'm going to do, Pat, next year? I am going to be very excited about Michael Pittman and Anthony Richardson together. Like, I know we're all just like kind of tunnel vision right now for 23, but I keep thinking about if Richardson stays healthy, has a good, healthy offseason, and continues to grow, what the Colts are going to look like. Like, I am very bullish on the Colts. I love the coach. Taylor being locked up now. Like, this is a really good, like, they have a good draft. I don't know, man. The Colts could be a team in the AFC next year that really comes not out of nowhere, but comes on really strong and really does some damage next year.
Joe, I just did my early 2024 quarterback rankings, and Anthony Richardson is QB4.
Oh, oh, what a present at Christmas. I love it. Oh, it's so good. I can't wait to start talking about that. Ace Filmer night. We're degenerates. You realize this. We are sad people. We're already like getting excited about 2024. That's like 6 months away for us to start talking about this coverage. Not us. We're already in it. Ace Filmer 92, Warren or Nico?
I'm going with Warren rather than entrust Nico to the backup quarterback in a very difficult matchup.
Ben, what's y'all's take on Kincaid or Hudson?
Oh, I'm going with Kincaid. Look, I know he got shut out last week in a game where Buffalo barely threw any passes. Like, it was just a low volume game. And yet, like, the route participation was down a little bit with Dawson Knox back, but like, he's still been getting, I know the yardage outputs haven't been great and he hasn't been scoring touchdowns, but he's still getting like 5 catches most games. There's just not enough appeal with Hudson to steer me away from a guy as talented as Kincaid playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Fair enough. Ben, I'm sorry, we just said Ben's question. Mike Chudy, happy holidays, guys. Start one in the flex. Waller, Curtis Samuel, or Chandler? I think Chandler. I take.
Oh yeah, Chandler by a mile.
Yeah, I know he's got Ingram in there, starting at tight end. So he was kind of saying like another. I've already got one tight end, but it's Chandler. Hood fave OJ. Who do I start this week? White or Jacobs? Got to start Rashad White if that's what we're talking about here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, Lily von Stupp. Now another great reference. Now, Pat, you get this one, right?
I do.
Blazing Saddles, a movie that could not be. First of all, forget not being made today. You could barely even watch today potentially, but it's genius. It's hilarious.
Was that the Bernadette Peters character?
No, that is
who it was.
No. This is.
Am I thinking of something?
No, this is Madeline Kahn. Madeline Kahn.
Oh, that's what I'm.
Great, yes, Madeline Kahn from Blazing Saddles. I'm tired of playing the game. Great Richard Pryor script. A lot of people don't know that Richard Pryor wrote Blazing Saddles. That's why it's so damn funny. Lily wants to know PPR pick 2, Pollard, Pacheco. Well, Pollard and Pacheco. So I don't know if maybe you meant pick 1. If you say you can only play 1, Pollard or Pacheco.
I would prefer to play Pacheco over Pollard.
Brian C, JSN or Warren?
I'd go with Warren. I just think again, great matchup against the Titans pass defense, but we don't know what that target distribution is going to look like. And we know that Warren is going to be pretty heavily involved. Good matchup. Like, I don't think the Steelers want to lean on Mason Rudolph today, Joe. Do you? Like, those running backs are going to be heavily involved, and Cincinnati's been a pretty decent matchup for running backs.
I asked this on the betting show yesterday. What's the over under on Rudolph puns in the broadcast today? I set it at 3.5. You want to take the over?
Ooh, that is a good line. That is a good line. I'm gonna go under, but it's a good line.
Rudolph leads the sled of the Steelers to victory. Rudolph with his arms so bright. I mean, it's just, it's gonna happen. Like, it's just the worst. George Haiti, full PPR. Bijan, ATN, Swift, Achane. Pick 2. Bijan, Etienne, Swift, and Achane.
Oh man, so we got to go with Bijan, despite the frustrating disappearances at times. Yes. I'm really torn here between Etienne and Achane. I've got Etienne ranked higher, but the Etienne investors, and I am
Swift has a great matchup against the Giants too. Like, I get why Swift is in this mix.
Yeah, but like I
he hasn't done much. Yeah,
he doesn't do much in the passing game, and we know that every goal line touchdown is going to Jalen Hurts. So I've got him lowest ranked of the group. But like, Achane has such explosive capabilities, but I think you got to go with the volume with ETN here. I don't know. Maybe if CJ Beathard plays and Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, just because of the diminished potency of the offense,
that's fair.
It might pivot to Achane away from ETN.
Tampa.
Yeah,
I love Tampa in this game. I've already bet Tampa. Dude, I'm all in. Tampa, and I think Baker's going to be that quarterback next year for them too. Like, I think he's done enough. I think they found their guy, which is crazy. And, maybe it all worked out. Gabe Monday 91. Don't bro me. No promises. Championship round. Bijan, Mostert, Warren, and Ayuk. PPR choose 3. Okay. Bijan, Mostert, and Ayuk. Right? Yep. I mean, like, this is not hard. Like, this is not a bro, but like, you're overthinking it. This is the
Yeah, I
part
like Warren,
great
but
players versus matchups. You're like, no, play the
correct.
great player. Angie Perez. Hey guys, full PPR pick 2. JT, Brees Hall, Swift, Warren, and do I flex Debo or DJ Moore? Oh my god, this reeks of 2 wide receiver league, doesn't it? Jeez, Debo or DJ first. Yikes. I mean, you got to play both of them if you can, but man, like
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to think of what the scenario is that like one of these guys only makes the lineup, but it's got to be a 2 wide receiver shallow.
I know. I've got Debo ranked wide receiver 7 and DJ Moore ranked wide receiver 8. It's like choosing between your children right there. Then with the running back question, JT is playing Brees Hall, and who were the other two? Was Warren
Swift
one
or
of them? Yeah, I've got Brees ranked just ahead of
yeah,
Swift
I think so.
in that one. We talked about the concerns with Brees and that overall offense and the lack of rushing yardage lately, but catches a lot of passes, and he's just like he's one of the 5 most talented backs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So
Browning or I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
no, go
Browning
ahead.
or Jordan Love for Robert Walker?
I got to go with Jordan Love.
Okay.
Like Carolina not allowing a lot of passing yardage, and maybe they want to go run heavy, especially if they're down some wide receivers. No Watson, possibly no Wicks, possibly no Jaden Reed. But I still want to go that way. I mean, I kind of think the Steelers' pass defense is going to have a day today, Joe. I just get that vibe. Like the Steelers are going to gather their pride today and play a good game against the Bengals. I just have
There
a
you
feeling.
go. Well, Rudolph would save Christmas then, wouldn't he? See how easy it is. Enraged Reiki, need playoff help, guys. No Jamar Chase, so I need one. Jameson Williams or Dontavian Wicks. There you go. Just this is what you're doing. You're closing your eyes and just throwing darts. Just throwing the darts everywhere.
Yeah,
That's what this
I
is right here.
I think you go Wicks if he plays because there's going to be guaranteed usage. I
Mm-hmm.
know Jameson's usage has been rising, still a little unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Next one here is from Ant Carter. Bijan or Achan? I gotta play Bijan over
Got to
Achan.
go Bijan. Yep.
I'm looking for a big correction, by the way, for the B. Like you can just I can feel in my bones, which is going to irritate everybody that got eliminated last week. And the one other roster that I still have alive because I had a bye last week has Bijan. So I'm very happy I dodged that bullet. But this week I'm looking for an overcorrection. He's in my lineup, so I'm not ever going to tell you anything that I wouldn't do. Everybody, same thing with Pat. Like we practice what we preach here. SMD. Happy holidays. Full PPR, Waller or Kincaid plus Hopkins or Chandler in the flex. So what do you want to do here?
Kincaid over Waller without question. Hopkins or Chandler. I think this is another instance where did we get a scoring system? We didn't get if
No, full PPR.
full PPR. I think I'd go Hopkins in full PPR.
Even with Tannehill?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I
Tannehill's throwing softballs out there, Pat, from what I saw all year. Like he just looks like nothing left.
yeah, he did not look good early in the season. I remember that game against the Saints, which was probably one of the
He had
worst
no zip
quarterback
on the football
starts.
at all in
Yeah,
everything I
but
watched him.
I'm still, even if it's Tannehill, I think I'm still going Hopkins here. It's really close though.
All right, Mikey's got another question here. Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson?
Kyler.
KW3 or Jalen Warren?
I have KW3 ranked higher. He's just, I mean,
It's a full PPR, by the way.
full PPR. Yeah,
I don't know if that matters to you or not. I mean, the touchdown equity kind of lives with KW3.
it does. Like he's the better player. The usage has been good lately. I think you're going with him. He's not sharing as much as Warren is sharing with Najee.
All right. Speaking of useful, wouldn't this trophy be useful for your league if you want to win something big this holiday season from Trophy Smack? This 36-inch fantasy football trophy giveaway is for you. Just subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, comment below on any video, or just this one if you want, and you get a chance to win this impressive symbol of fantasy football glory. Celebrate your championship in festive style and make sure that you turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes of the show are up, plus all these live streams moving all over the place around the holidays. And if you're the big winner of this incredible fantasy football trophy from Trophy Smack. All right, let's go to Quentin A's question. Full PPR need 2. Gibbs, James Cook, Saquon, and Joe Mixon. Merry Christmas. It's Gibbs and Cook for me, Patty Cakes.
Same.
This is easy, Quentin. You're in good shape, too. Let me tell you, James Cook is going to win people some fantasy leagues. I said it on Monday show.
Oh
If
my
you
god.
imagine all the people that tried to deal him and got like they just got frustrated, nobody would take him, and they just sat on the roster. And now you're in the playoffs with Cook, and he's just blowing up these last couple of weeks, man. Jesus wants to know Ridley or Achan.
I'm going with Achan here.
Okay,
Yeah.
Texans or Bears defense. I'm going with the Bears.
I too am going with the Bear. Let me
Oh, Bears have been so consistent, Pat. If you watch the Bears game log the last couple weeks, it's unbelievable. I'm going to rattle it off for you just in case you're unimpressed. I want to rattle through the Bears. Ready? Week 12, 14 points. Week 14 against Detroit, 14 points. Week 15 against Cleveland, 17 points. They got Arizona coming to town in Chicago.
I do have the Bears ranked higher.
Give me the double digits, baby. Let's go. By the way, Erickson had never seen the Bears sketch on SNL. I sent him the link. I know it's very
Really?
upsetting. When these things happen, it really upsets me. Like, how did you never see this? Like, I don't understand how that
It's
happened.
funny. I mean, I live in the Chicago area. It's such a like you'll see 30 people dressed like that for Halloween every year.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
so
like
good.
there,
I'm
I
super
went into
fans.
a store and there were two women behind the counter dressed as Ditka for it
That's
was
awesome.
for Halloween. It was fantastic.
Who
Yeah.
wins in a fight, Godzilla or Ditka? It's gonna be close. I'm gonna give it to Ditka. I think Ditka's the guy. You know, he's gonna have ferocious. He's a tough guy. And then Chris Farley having a heart attack every single time with the sausage thing is just, it's so funny. Like the guy is just amazing. Tucker Cousins, hey gents, Tua, Minshew, or Browning? A lot of people are losing steam with Tua here at the end. By the way,
Well, here's the thing: Tua threw 24 passes last week, but he completed 87% of them and averaged 9.4 yards per pass attempt. He was great. He just didn't need to throw a lot. You
well,
roll with
can
Tua.
Dallas make him throw? I guess that's the point. Can Dallas challenge here? Are they going to lay another turd like last week against Buffalo? Like
Oh
that's the
yeah, I
thing.
mean Miami's only a point and a half favorite. I don't think you can project a blowout for the Dolphins. So yeah, you got to roll with Tua,
Okay.
especially with Tyreek likely to play. Come on, you gotta leverage the wide
I have
receivers.
gotten more Tua quarterback questions in the last 2 weeks, man. Like people are really starting to get worried about him. But look, he got you this far. I think you got to play him over the backup guys. JP standard scoring, Barkley or Chuba Hubbard? I play Chuba. I know it's unpopular, but all that volume, Pat.
Yeah, I mean this is really it is kind of in the coin flip zone. Um,
How sad is that? Like it's December 23rd, and we're talking about Barkley or Chuba, and you just said it's in the coin flip zone.
I know. And right now, Joe, I've got Barkley ranked like 2 spots higher, and I think I'm gonna have to change that after that show because I'm thinking about it. And if I were under the gun, I mean, Chuba has had like at least 22 carries in 3 straight
Yep.
games. It's going up against a Packer run defense that's like 26th in DVOA. I think they've given up like the fourth most rushing yards to running backs this season. Like the matchup is really good. The only thing we don't like about Chuba is the rest of the offense kind of stinks and it dims his touchdown outlook a little bit. But
Sure.
otherwise, the usage has just been
You know
chef's
what,
kiss.
Pat? Chuba's at 20 on ECR. Barkley's at 23. So ECR does not think
Oh,
that we're crazy either.
okay.
Look, he was RB 11 against the Titans, RB 6 against Tampa Bay. Then again, he had 23 carries and 87 yards back to back weeks, basically. And he finishes RB 24 and RB 18 only because he didn't have that touchdown in those games, but he did have touchdowns in the other two. So against Green Bay, can he fall in the end zone? I think you take your shot on that. Like I just do. And look, ECR agrees. Stink Mangione, happy holidays, y'all. Bears defense or Bills defense?
Bills. Bills
Okay.
without question against the Chargers.
And then Flowers or Deontay Foreman in the flex?
Oh man. This is close. I'm sort of losing faith in Zay Flowers here.
Mhm.
But right now I know I have those guys really
I lose
close.
faith in Flowers, but I can't sit him over Foreman. I can't do it. I'm playing Flowers.
Wait, it's Flowers versus Deontay Johnson?
No, Flowers or Foreman. Deontay Foreman.
Oh, yeah. We just don't know how the
I can't.
touches are going to be parceled out in that backfield. I think you got to go Flowers.
Nick Laney, Standard League. Bijan, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, ATN need 2. It's Bijan and Gibbs for me. How about you, Pat?
Same here. Boy, Taylor's a tough omission, but I'm with you on that, Joe.
Oh, wait. You know what? Maybe I spoke too soon there. Taylor
You
and Gibbs, maybe. My brain just went to ATN. I kind of glossed through the Taylors. I was reading the question. Who do we like the most? We both agree Gibbs, right? Probably the most. in
Yeah,
that against
so
Minnesota?
okay, here's my main reservation. Like, I'm not worried about the matchup with Jonathan Taylor. Atlanta
Right.
without Grady Jarrett is not to be feared. My concern is that, like, I know these are very different things, a thumb injury that kept him out a few weeks versus an ankle injury or whatever, but remember how we Jonathan Taylor comes back and he basically backed up Zach Moss that week. Like, what if Shane Steichen is just really conservative about bringing back injured players and we see like a lot of Trey Sermon this week?
Mm,
Like that's what kind of scares me when you have two other really good options.
it's fair.
That's why he would be the third man for me.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. So Shane's question. Hey, Fantasy Pros, need flex one in the PPR. Ingram, Lockett, Palmer. Thank you very much. So you want to go with Palmer with nobody else around?
No, definitely not. Yeah, not with Easton Stick. I mean, like Palmer hit one big play and it was on a busted coverage last week. So, no, I think I want to tap into the Lockett Tennessee matchup here.
Hey, Pat, starting this week, Tommy DeVito, Taylor Heineke, Easton Stick, Aiden O'Connell, Case Keenum, Trevor Simeon, Ryan Tannehill, Bailey Zappi, Mason Rudolph, and maybe CJ Beathard.
I think Heineke
No, I'm
is
just
my
saying, like, that's what this is our
oh,
life.
oh, God, I
Like,
thought that
I'm
was
just
like
saying,
someone's got to pick up a
no,
quarterback and play him.
no. I'm just listing all the quarterbacks that are actually playing this week. Drink that in a second.
That's it.
DeVito, Heineke, Stick, O'Connell, Keenum, Simeon, Tannehill, Zappi. Bryce Young is in this mix too. Rudolph, Beathard. That's pretty Mason Rudolph.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not what the NFL is leading its advertisements with when they're doing promos for these games.
well, that's what Tom Brady was talking about the other day in that clip of it where he's like, yeah, the play's mediocre. Well, this is why. You know, then this whole downgraded quarterback situation this year where all these QBs got hurt. I mean, it's bad. Next one here is Tommy T, full PPR. Gibbs or Monty or both?
Or both.
I guess you could play both of them if you really I don't know who we're playing them over. Like, would you play both in the same game? Is
Yeah, I
basically
mean, like, optimally, I don't think you are.
I
Maybe
think I
if it
play
was just
Gibbs
yeah,
unless I'm desperate.
no, Gibbs over Monty for sure, like, more big play potential, and he's kind of like I mean, now he's cutting into Monty's early down work too.
Mm.
Like, if it was a really soft matchup, Denver, Carolina, maybe you play both. I don't think you're looking to do that against the Vikings, who have, the Vikings defense has been very respectable this year. So I don't think you want to play both if you can help it.
Rich Hardesty, Bears or Browns? I'm playing the Bears. Bears.
Man, I'm
The
playing
Bears.
the Browns against Case Keenum. Sorry, Joe. Like, I prefer that matchup.
Mike Ditka would not be happy with you, Pat. All right, Mo G, love what you guys do. Thanks, Mo. Guided me to first place. Excellent. Half PPR. Walker or Connor in the flex. I think it's Walker for us, yes?
It is Walker, yes.
Tony Montes, Mullins or Flacco? Flacco.
Flacco.
And I love that Tony says PPR. Like it matters. It doesn't matter if it's PPR. It's a quarterback. Alvaro Avalar, Tua or Fields?
Oh, Fields.
Fields.
He's
Yeah,
my QB3 this week
I like
against
that.
against that defense. Oh,
I
man.
agree.
He's gonna
Landon
feast.
Picala, Bears or Eagles defense? I already said, everyone knows my answer to everything. It's the Bears. I'm
Yeah,
just in
for
on the
me
Eagles defense. They're good.
for me, it's the Eagles. They are, but, like, I don't think they're necessarily gonna rack up a lot of points against Kyler, who can escape the pass rush.
Arizona going into Chicago in December.
But,
That's all I
Joe,
can say.
I mean, I just walked my dog here in Chicago. It's, like, mid-40s and no wind and
Mid
balmy.
40s. I have family from Arizona. They're out here right now. They are freezing. They're like, this is insane. How do you live like this? Like, no, you don't even know what East Coast is. Like, I'm
Yeah,
telling
no,
you, like,
tomorrow's gonna be, like, 50 here in Chicago. Weather
yeah.
is not gonna be an issue.
Well, I'm gonna take a bit. Look, I told you, Bears double digit points every week. That's what they do. They're just smacking it up there. Consistency, and that's the thing. Like you look at these other good defenses, right? Look at the Cowboys. It's all or nothing. It's been like that most of the year. It's like at home they're great. Other on the road, it's
Yeah.
terrible. It's single digits. Now they end up looking like the defense number 1, 2, 3 overall because of those huge games they have. But I'll take my consistent 12, 15 points and I'll get it. Like you're getting that kind of points from a defense, you take it. It's really hard to get double digit points out of a defense consistently week in, week out. You're lucky if you get 8 or 9. You're getting 12 to 14 to 15 some of these weeks from them.
Yeah, and just to
Big,
to your point, Joe, and, like, it is a really legitimate defense. Ever since they
yeah.
acquired Montez Sweat, they have
Sweat
been good
has
against
been
the
crazy.
They've been great against the run all year. Now they're really good against the pass as well.
All right, the big ticket. Who should I trust at flex? Bijan or Jonathan Taylor?
Oh
This is
gosh.
that same logic. You just said
Same
Bijan, right?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bijan slightly ahead of JT.
Okay, Trigga Trey. Need to start 2 out of Bijan, Brees, and Ayuk. It's Bijan and Ayuk for me, bro.
Correct. Same.
Joshua Ward, happy holidays, full point PPR. Who should I start? Pick 2, Ty Chandler, Terry McLaurin, Aaron Jones, or Noah Brown? Who do you want here? I
Aaron
like
Jones.
Chandler and Jones.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
RBs. Football lover, half PPR, pick 2, Addison, Lockett, Chandler, Noah Brown. Thanks, pros.
So Lockett, Chandler, Noah Brown. I don't want to start 2 Vikings, so I'm going to go with Lockett and Chandler.
Okay. Let's go to Oracle Zap, Bijan or Chandler, and Zeke. Choose one. So you got
Bijan.
Yeah. Brian Lafort, need 3. Ken Walker, Rashad White, Mixon, ATN. Who's the odd man out?
It was White. Well, White has to play.
Walker, ATN, and Mixon. I guess ATN's the odd man out, right?
I think it would be Walker for me. Really close.
Really?
It's between ETN and Walker, but yeah, I think it's Walker. He'd be
Okay.
my odd man out.
And then JT or Higgins in a standard league. This is where I go JT.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chico Gomez, half PPR, need 1. Ayuk, Metcalf, Mixon, Montgomery. 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Ayuk is in, yes. And I want to play Metcalf too. Like I'm playing the big dogs, yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Captain Lasky, been waiting for this all week. Sit 1. Full PPR, Devin Singletary, Ty Chandler, Jalen Warren. Who sits? Warren, Singletary, or Chandler?
Oh man. Singletary, Chandler, Warren. Those guys are all really close. I mean, that is a painful. Singletary would be my sit. I know they leaned on him heavily last week with CJ Stroud out, but now he's going against like a near historically good run defense. Well, just defense overall with Cleveland. Like they are a hellish matchup. So I'm sitting Singletary out of this group.
Okay, let's go to Joe the G. Start 1, Pollard, Laporta, or Njoku.
Ooh, wow. I'm going with Pollard. You just like
it's hard to play a tight end over
a fairly high volume running back. I just can't do it.
It's hard. This is a tough one, but like I want to know what your tight end situation looks like, where you got Laporta and Njoku, and this is a flex question, right?
Right.
There and come over. I mean, like I'm so bewildered by it. I'm knocking things over on the desk. Charles Thomas made it to the second round of the playoffs thanks to y'all. I see you, Charles. 2 QB league. I have Allen. Stroud is out. Should I start Russ, Flacco, or someone else?
I'd start Flacco. Lean into that volume. He's averaged 313 passing yards a game in his 3 starts, and he's got 7 touchdowns. A lot of turnovers, but like he's throwing aggressively downfield.
Elite Joe Flacco, Pat. Elite Joe Flacco.
Always elite.
All right, let's get one more in here. Jonathan Williams. Don't forget, everybody, we got more coverage coming. We're not just because we're going away, more coverage is happening. So if you haven't gotten your question answered, we'll do our best to get to it in hour 2. Flex 2, McBride, Achane, Pittman, half PPR. So who is out? Achane, McBride, Pittman.
I've got to sit the tight end here. I cannot sit my guy Achane in this one. I know a lot of people would sit Achane because they don't feel confident in the workload.
I don't.
But man, like he's also a dude who could give you a 30-point game. Like he is that kind of guy.
Achane's going to be infuriating next year, Pat, in rankings, because we're all going to love him, and he's going to do more of this where he plays and he doesn't play, and it's great and it's not great, and he's just going to be, for his cost, I can see myself having 0 shares, and I'm an Achane guy. You knew that going into the year. Like I wanted Achane, and then he got hurt right in the end of preseason. I went, oh, well, that's not going to work out. And then it did work out, and then it didn't work out. And I just think that's who he is.
I've always compared him to Warwick Dunn. Let's hope he has Warwick Dunn's durability.
I wish he had Warwick Dunn's durability. I can only hope. Also, one more here. Higgins or Ayuk for Kyope 901. It's Ayuk.
Ayuk.
I mean, Ayuk is glorious. Why do we want to get away from Ayuk ever? Not ever. Don't want to do that. Also, don't want to get away from the Fantasy Pros live stream here. So picking up the coverage right now is going to be the Welsh and Tara Roberts. I'm going to take you through the next hour. Have a happy holidays, everyone, from Pat and myself and John. Stay with us here on the channel. Enjoy your holiday season. We'll be back again next week to help you with all of your leagues. Good luck to all of you in round 2 of the playoffs. Our coverage picks up with Welsh and Tara Roberts right now.
Hello, friendos, and welcome in. Oh, lose my voice there. Hello, friends. Welcome in to hour and part 2 right here on Fantasy Pros. I am Welsh. That is Tara. We're here to answer all the questions on Saturday. My equilibrium's thrown off a little bit, Tara. I like it. I'm down with the Saturday, and I'm down with the Saturday run, but we got holidays coming up. We all got parties to get to, so we can't wait till Sunday. We got to do it Saturday.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. This is interesting. We'll be in new territory because usually we're getting live injury updates and we've got questions that we're answering and we can like figure it out as we're working our way, but we don't get those Sunday updates now. So this is going to be interesting.
Oh, poor John. John's just gonna have to like chill. He's gonna have to chill a little bit more. John's out there just like the whole time when we're doing this, getting news for us, breaking it. We've only got we got these games here on Saturday, but we will answer all of your questions. So fill the chat up. That's how we're going to get to them for this big important Week 16 matchup. I made a critical error. Terry, tell me if I'm going to be okay. So I do. Are you familiar with the guillotine leagues?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in a guillotine league and down to the finals. Got to the finals. It's a 16-team guillotine league. Big time. I want to win it. I wanted to win it. So our players are ridiculous. And I did probably the worst thing you can do. Last minute, I took out my flex, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I put in Alvin Kamara. And Alvin Kamara absolutely sunk me. And we're again, this guy has got Christian McCaffrey. I have great wide receivers. I've got Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, but I also had Cooper Kupp. So Cooper Kupp and Alvin Kamara already in the books. You think I'm sunk based on how hard these lineups look? I think I'm sunk.
I think that you can. No, you said you have Jefferson, so there's some upside that can come
Tyreek.
around in this quarter. You've got some guys in Tyreek, so you've got he's hopefully he's trending towards playing. So I think you're okay. But yeah, Kamara,
Yeah,
man,
you're being honest. Yep. Thank you, Kamara.
I started him in a league, so I feel your pain.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get you guys all with the right starts. So fill in that chat. Like I said, we'll make sure to get to it, or we will try to get to it as we roll down playoff time, baby. So let's get into it. By the way, you could find us on Twitter. It's Terra Time. Is it the Welsh? If you guys would like, and make sure you are locked into everything that Fantasy Pros has got going on, because football doesn't stop into the playoffs. It gets harder and harder, and we keep going. So make sure you're locked into Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros content on the podcast side. And on YouTube, youtube.com/fantasypros or youtube.com/bettingpros. No reason not to do it. Shall we do this? Tara, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Mr. Scampers is first up. What? Samantha or Jose's Landing? Half-point PPR? What? Did I miss a joke, John? Oh, okay. Well, no, let's answer it real quick. Let's answer it. Samantha or Jose's Landing? Which one, Tara? Half-point PPR.
Samantha's. I don't get this reference. Samantha's.
I think I like the name Samantha, so we're gonna go with Samantha. Chat, please, also in the chat, Samantha or Jose. We'll do a poll and we'll see if we can figure out by the end. Samantha's Landing. If it was full PPR, I might consider Jose's Landing, but we're gonna go with Samantha. We don't know what's going on. All right, Ace Takeoff. Zeke or Singletary this week?
Oh man, I like Singletary this week. No CJ Stroud, and I think we saw Devin Singletary with 30 total touches last week. I think that they're going to repeat that same. We're just going aggressive volume on the ground. 26 carries. It was, fantastic. Even in a difficult matchup, that level of workload, you got to go with it.
Boy, I don't know what happened in our world where you became the Singletary person and I am on the other side, but it happened. We had a natural transition out of it, and you now own Devin Singletary. I just can't come off of Zeke right now, even though like last week wasn't great. Denver on the year, still technically the worst rush defense across the board. And they've kind of tightened it up as of recent, but as far as like Zeke just being able to be involved on both sides, receiving and rushing, I think you're going to see a lot of it. And I'm going to go with Zeke. And if you're looking at the Fantasy Pros consensus ranks, Zeke in half PPR is 17. Singletary is 28. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy there on those two guys. 28. Yeah. Sean, Sean is in here. Flacco or Geno? Can you imagine your playoff matchup is like comes down to Flacco or Geno?
I mean, honestly, this week it's not a particularly bad situation to be in. I love Geno's matchup this week. I have Geno slightly ahead. We know that he was super close last week, super close, and they said they just didn't want to put him out on that field. So I feel like he's good to go. We're going to see Geno nice and healthy, and Flacco, good upside, obviously, and he's been very steady, but I lean towards the matchup for Geno.
Yeah, I'll go with Geno in this one. I like the weapons. Flacco's been a great game manager. But that's really like, Geno's kind of in the same place. Like both are like, oh, if I'm really desperate. But I think they're in the same vein as like the Jake Brownings of the world. But Geno might be like the tippy top of the tier just because of all the offensive weapons. So I'll go with Geno in this one over Flacco. Frosty Corleone says we are sitting one PPR. Ty Chandler, Zeke, Aaron Jones, or Nico Collins. No longer Sneeko. So one has to go.
That's rough because I am leaning towards AJ Dillon not playing, which would be fantastic for Aaron Jones in that matchup. Oh man, I do think that it would be. I think it would be Ty Chandler, and I hate to say that because he looked fantastic last week. It's between Ty Chandler and Nico, just depending on where Nico is at health wise. That's rough.
Yeah. And I know it's been leaning in the positive direction. Cleveland defense on Nico. I find a hard time. I agree with the Chandler stuff. Chandler though is really ranked high. I want to get out his rank here. At least I saw some ranks. I saw some ranks that were like inside the top 15. I guess his consensus is 22 for everybody. I probably am sitting Nico, if I'm being honest. Just getting a little bit more volume out of the running backs. Did we get what was the update today on Madison? Have we had any more updates?
I don't think we have.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not sure it matters as much. Yeah. I mean, if Madison isn't going, then I think I'm going to like affirmatively say, let's sit Nico. If Madison is going, I don't know. Nico's got the upside. It's just a really tough defensive matchup. So I'm leaning going all running backs here. That's a really tough one, Frosty. Specifically the Chandler Collins one, because I'm going to fly with obviously Zeke and Aaron Jones here. So we will see. Yeah. Joanne says Flacco, Howell, or Baker in a standard league. So we gotta play those touchdowns. Obviously, it doesn't matter. But what do you think here?
It is literally Baker, Flacco, Howell. And I think there might be, I'm higher on Howell this week than a lot of people are, but not that high to where I'm starting him over Baker or Flacco.
Yeah, I'm all on Baker here. Baker was the play last week, and I think we'll continue on with Baker. Mike says standard league, Achane or Rachaad White in the flex, Higgins or Rice. So I guess these are two different questions. So Achane or Rachaad, and that's going to be easy Rachaad here for me.
Yeah, it is.
Even in standard, just because he's going to touch the ball so much. Yeah. And then easy Rashee Rice for me too.
Oh, it's not so easy for me. I lean Higgins. Yeah.
Really?
I lean Higgins. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't hate the matchup. I don't hate the matchup. And with no Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1, I think that this is going to be a heavy T. Higgins day.
I don't disagree that Higgins is going to be on the heavier side, if you will, Christmas heavier side. But Rashee Rice has just been the number one guy. Best career game was against the Raiders. I am all team Rashee Rice this week. So I'm playing Rachaad White and Rashee Rice. But if we were ranking these out, I would rank Achane at the bottom of, if you had to be like, sit one or blah, 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 he would be at the bottom of this list for me. Okay. Alberto says full PPR, 1 RB and 1 flex. We have Pacheco, Etienne, and DK. So we essentially have to sit one. Well, I guess we just have to sit one for the setup.
Yeah. Well, and then it's Pacheco. So I prefer, and I know this will be maybe ruffle some feathers, but I prefer Pacheco and DK. Sorry, Etienne.
Yeah. I am going to go on both sides of the running backs again. So ETN and DK are close. I don't think they're going to ruffle any feathers, but again, volume plays. I think Trevor Lawrence is leaning in a good direction. So Pacheco and ETN, I'm going to stick with. He also had Kyler Murray or Baker.
This one is a tough one for me. I have Kyler, like I believe, one tiny spot higher. Just because I do think that they could be forced to push volume in Arizona in this game because Chicago can absolutely tear up that defense. So if Justin Fields has a field day, we could just be literally forced to have Kyler trying to match it.
Yeah, we actually had the discussion on Betting Pros yesterday. If anyone wants to go check it out, Erickson, Pisapia, and myself, we're going through our props, our favorite props of the week, and we got onto this Bears game because a couple people throughout the week have kind of agreed and looked and said, well, that game has a low total and there's a ton of public money on the under, but it feels overish. It actually feels overish on both sides. Bears defense better than the Cardinals. Cardinals are, just garbage. We were settling on the Bears team total was at 24. And I don't think I think the Bears defense is fine, but I think this is going over. And if you like the over, you can play Kyler. And Kyler is ranked one spot above Baker Mayfield here. And I would agree with it. I would take that. I'm down with Baker. I just don't think Baker's going to be throwing 4 touchdowns every single week. So I would go with Kyler as well.
Yeah.
All right. TR says, what to do with Pittman this week? Need a flex. Pittman says Jones. I'm guessing Aaron Jones. I'm guessing Breece Hall and Swift. Full PPR. In this instance,
yeah, it's sketchy because I'm starting him. It's sketchy because cleared from concussion protocol, but shoulder injury. So we don't have a ton of details on that because we were all focused on the concussion part of it. So that throws a wrench in it. But I think you have the ability to wait. You don't have to, start anyone right now today. So we can see where Pittman is at, but I lean towards starting Pittman.
I am a sucker and I still like Breece Hall. I like all those receptions. Didn't happen last week. Think it's happening this week. Good matchup against Washington. So I lean Breece Hall. But like Tara said, you don't have to make the decision today. If Pittman is a full go, it's he is just at all times going to be a fantastic matchup. It's up against Atlanta. Coverage a little bit better. But I'm going to lean Breece Hall here. Tara goes with Pittman as long as everything is good. Matthew Young says Tannehill, Flacco, or Murray. Can you believe how many championship potential hearts are on the line with Joe Flacco? There are so many Flacco questions. What's happening?
He's new Flacco. This is not our Baltimore Ravens Flacco. This is old age Flacco. He's a different kind of Flacco.
Did Flacco save all of your seasons? I think that's what happened. I think Flacco saved everybody's season. How is Flacco in so many pre-championship lineups? That's crazy. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So what was it? It was Flacco, Murray, or Tannehill?
It's still Murray for the same reasoning, but then it would be Flacco and then no go on Tannehill.
Okay. By the way, no updates on Madison. And I didn't think John would do this. John's the best. He's just literally the best of all. He actually put a poll out of Samantha or Jose's Landing in the chat, and it went 63% Samantha's Landing. So there we go. I'm assuming it's Samantha's Landing and Jose's Landing, but Samantha won. So congratulations, 63% of the vote. We have all come together, not understanding any of the context or knowing anything, but we all came together in this holiday season and we pushed Samantha forward. So good for you, Samantha. Just wanted to point that out. Also, would like to point out,
Mr. Scampers.
Yeah, we do appreciate. We also want to point out about a big, awesome thing that you can take home this holiday season, because you can win the Trophy Smacks 36-inch fantasy football trophy giveaway. That's right. God, we love Trophy Smack. Just subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel and comment on any video we've got for your chance to claim this impressive symbol of fantasy football glory. Celebrate your championship in festive style by making sure you turn on notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up. And to claim your prize, we appreciate Trophy Smack, all that they have been doing for us all season long. So why don't you show it back here and take home that awesome fantasy football trophy via Trophy Smack. Go and do it today. If you didn't have a league prize and then right around Christmas, you could go and win that. And then you can go to your league and go, oh, hey, by the way, guys, wham! And then you bring that in there. You're Santa.
Yes.
You're Santa for the league. I think it's amazing. So
Mhm,
go and do that, announcing some winners and trying to get you guys some prizes, baby. All right. Baseball Shorts 19 says, hi, guys. Merry Christmas. Half PPR pick 2. My cadence was so odd there. JT, Monty, or Chuba Hubbard. So we're just sitting one. So Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor, or the Chuba.
Sorry, Monty. You got to sit.
Ooh, you are the weakest link. I agree. Goodbye. So I'm going to go with Chuba and JT as well. We agree. I love that. All right. Johnny says Mixon, Sutton, Ty Chandler, or McLaurin. 1 for my flex, full PPR.
Oh, buddy.
Not going to be McLaurin.
No.
I'm going Mixon.
You're literally
I'm going
depending
Mixon today.
on your. I lean Ty Chandler. Poor Terry McLaurin. Literally depending on
You lean
Sam Howell
McLaurin?
being benched. No. I said poor Terry McLaurin.
Oh, poor. Yeah. Jacoby
I
Brissett is in there, which we never thought we'd say maybe, but yeah, this one is Mixon today for me. I'm on some props with him too.
It's Ty Chandler for me.
All right. Ty Chandler moves on. Jake, happy holidays to you as well. Tua, Flacco, or Browning? Half PPR. Come on, it's Tua. Let Tua take you to the promised land.
It is. And I would not have said that, but I do think Dallas's defense is reeling a little bit. So I can lean towards starting Tua on that one just because we're in such dire situations at quarterback. I have to defend myself a little bit because literally on any and every single platform that I'm on, I've said no to Tua in the playoffs. So this is the one instance where I'm breaking that a tiny bit.
Yeah, I think it's a little easier when he's going up against Flacco and Jake Browning, but so
Yeah.
I get the thing. If people are asking like Tua or Goff, and maybe you're doing that, Tua or Purdy, these aren't really in the same general vicinity. I bet you're taking Kyler over Tua this week. Yay or nay? How well do I know you?
They're back to back for me. They're back to I've ultimately not decided on that one.
Right.
They're literally back to back. It could
You don't
flip right
decide.
now.
Think
Right
to
now
the
it
show.
is
Think to
Tua.
the show. Think it is
Right,
Tua right
yeah,
now.
right
Okay.
now it's Tua, but it could flip.
All right. Let's go next one. Mike Skills says Merry Christmas, Welsh and Tara. To you as well, Mike. I like the skills at the end. Sit one, Jalen Warren, Singletary, or Ken Walker. So who has to go? Bye-bye.
This one is rough because I would like to start Kenneth Walker, but I worry about what happens if he doesn't play. Because we've got no true indication in terms of where he's at with that injury. That's my only concern there. He did log a limited practice, so trending in the rightest direction, but that's still not enough for me.
Pete Carroll did say yesterday that Ken Walker's expected to play. I mean, it's Pete Carroll, so it's, one out the other, but just saying, he did say he expects Ken Walker to play.
Yeah. If you've got somebody else just in case, I can go with Singletary and Walker and sit Warren.
Yeah, unless Najee was out, I just don't have super big interest in Warren today. It'd be Ken Walker, especially that he's expected to play. So that's exactly right. You'll feel even better if you have like a little bit of another person sitting out there. Just anybody. Literally any live body in case Ken Walker something were to happen. Noah comes in here with an Aaron Jones or James Conner. Oh, no, there's a bunch. No, Aaron Jones, James Conner, Romeo Dobbs, Josh Downs. Again, I think this might be typed weird. I'm now looking at this running back versus running back instead of all four because there's some ors in there. There's just no punctuation that's messing me up. So let's go. Aaron Jones, James Conner, Aaron Jones for sure.
Aaron Jones, and then between Dobbs and Downs, it is Dobbs.
It is Dobbs, but if Pittman were out, it is Josh Downs. So that's the only thing I would be floating on. For me.
I don't even know if I can get on board with that.
Why do you not like Josh Downs?
I mean, did he do much when Pittman went down early last week? No. So I don't know, extrapolate that over a game. I still think that Dobbs scores more points.
All right. And Jonathan Taylor's back too, but Tara's not Josh Downs.
Yeah.
So, all right, there you go. Charles Thomas says flex half PPR pick 2. Jaden Reed, Gus Edwards, Josh Palmer, Noah Brown. Jaden Reed, I mean, I didn't see it this morning, but I believe he's still trending to not play.
Yeah.
And I'm very much in on Dontavian Wicks this week. The Gus Edwards one. Gus Edwards is going to get more run, but it's against the Niners. I'm going Josh Palmer and Noah Brown, though. I'm going to avoid that self thing that's telling me I kind of want to go Gus Edwards, and I'm going to go Palmer and Noah Brown.
That is the direction I lean as well.
Okay. All right. I have to fight myself just because, like, there's no Keaton Mitchell. We saw Gus get like 16 last week. I think he'll do it again. In instances, you can run against the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to press Lamar, and they're going to try not to let Lamar's legs beat them, and a little bit more on deeper coverage stuff. So I do think there's a possibility they might be able to like ground and pound down the middle with Gus and Justice Hill if that team decides to do it. But I do have a great 49ers Ravens prop on the Betting Pros prop show to go check out with a fun little stat logged in with it if you want to take. It was one of my top 5 bets. So go and check that out. You guys can hopefully we can cash that. All right. Ray Bill says Freiermuth or Waller, half PPR. Never Darren Waller. It's always the other guy.
Darren Waller for me.
Come on. What are we going for with Waller? 4 for 41? I can't just do the Waller.
Just go with me on it.
Okay. You know what? That's actually good. I'm used to that type of just follow me. Just shut up and just go with it. You know what? I can deal with that. All right. Wes Merritt says, happy holidays. Need help in the flex spot. Full PPR. Noah Brown or Javonte Williams. It is an easy Noah Brown for me. I won't hesitate. But Tara, what say you?
Yeah, I don't like this matchup for Javonte. I worry about him. I think it's another sub 10 fantasy point game.
Yes. And if Nico's in there, I like hard coverage to be on him. Noah Brown gets to continue that tank role, moving around the field. He's looked pretty dang good. And there's been a pretty good connection, whatever quarterback is there. Anthony Perkins here. Merry Christmas, pros. I'm in the semis and need the best flex. Full PPR, Drake London or JSN. You do not have the best flex. We will try to give you the best option because those are not the best options. But what say you, Tara? JSN or London?
Drake London. My theory this week is that because Arthur Smith was clearly put on notice and has become like you could see the pain in his eyes of acknowledging that he cannot do what he wants to do and keep his job. So he has to flip the script and finally give volume to Bijan and heavily target Drake London and Kyle Pitts. We're going to see everything go to those particular players so he can try so hard to save his job here. So I think Drake London is fine this week. That's the high upside.
It's like a Christmas story. Can Arthur Smith save his job this Christmas season? The answer is no. Because his helpers are Taylor Heineke behind him and Tyler Algier. So I agree with you. It is London. I'm not going to go with JSN on this side. I am going to go with London. But I also just don't know. I think we assume after last week and the criticism and blah, blah, blah. But like it's been happening all year. Like he just got his fine from the Bijan disclosure, I think, from week 7. Like I don't know if he has a full grasp of what he's actually trying to do and the implementation. So unless there is like management, like we have to throw it 35 times and get it to London and Bijan needs 20 touches, I don't think he'll do it. I have no idea what he'll do. I'll still go London in this instance. And the rankers are doing the same. London is, yeah, they are. Never mind. London is 29 and Jackson Smith and Jigba is 34. So there you go. If you want to go with the consensus rankers. Daniel Granger says, happy holidays, guys. Full PPR for flex. Noah Brown, Darren Waller, or Jalen Warren. Noah Brown.
Yeah, Noah Brown.
These all this confuses me. Jake Ferguson is my tight end. Oh, he's just telling us Jake Ferguson. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was kind of like a kid just
So it's a
showing you. They're
flex,
like, I have this
yeah.
toy, and you're just like, oh, great, that's awesome. Like that's what he was doing. He was just showing us his toy. I'm very happy for you, Ferguson. Waller does nothing to that toy, so Ferguson is a good one. And then Noah Brown. Okay, I have kids. I had young kids, and I just remembered they'd just be like, look. I'm like, oh, that's great. And I'm like, okay, is there anything else? Like, nope. And they just move on. So that's what we're doing with that Ferguson there. 88 says Eckler or Connor. Stop tearing her tracks.
Eckler.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to even hesitate. It's Eckler for me. I'm on Eckler this week. I think the change is going to bounce back to heavier touches with Eckler. Might be a major fail, might blow up in my face. I actually have this exact decision in my 16-team keeper league. This is the decision. I've got Mostert on there and Etienne, and I'm just throwing them out. And I have the decision between Eckler and Connor. I'm not in on Connor. I'm in on Eckler. I think Eckler can get Reback involved, can be a top 20. He is not ranked as a top 20 this week. He is, let me see, I think he was like 26 last that I saw. Maybe he moved it up a little bit. He did not. He is still 26. I think he's an RB2 this week, and I'm riding that one with you. That exact decision. Did you answer, or did I just step all over? You said Eckler. Yeah, you said Eckler.
Well, yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Dennis says need 3 out of these running backs: James Cook, Mixon, White, and Gibbs. So we got to sit one. Ooh, we got to sit Mixon here. That's a lot of good running backs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Mixon.
Yeah, I don't want to sit Mixon either. I don't like it. But Cook too good, Rashad too good, Gibbs too good. Gang. So can't do that. Baseball Shorts 19. Hi guys, Merry Christmas. Half PPR pick 2. JT, Monty, or Chip. Oh, we had that one. We'll still say Montgomery goes away. Bye-bye. All right.
Yes.
Jan, pros need to replace Keenan Allen in PPR. We've got Goddard, Wicks, Slayton, Douglas, or Pickens. And then I think they're also saying flex again. This is confusing me. We need to replace Allen. Oh, yeah, it must be just in the flex Keenan Allen was. So Wicks, Slayton, Douglas, Pickens, or Goddard is Dontavian Wicks for me by a mile. But I could understand a lot of other plays. What say you?
I mean, this one is injury contingent. No Jaden Reed, Wicks, easy. No Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert.
No Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. Okay. Yeah, I could get down with that. Yeah, Goddard is definitely not a not good option. Playing tight ends and flex doesn't feel super great. I do suppose Goddard is one of those guys that can almost transcend that. There's only like a handful of tight ends that can transcend that. They can be flex options. He is one of those guys, but I'm going to, unless like all of a sudden Christmas miracle, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson are playing, I'm going Wicks. Even if one comes back, I'm still going to go with Wicks here. That is a that one
Christmas miracle.
Yeah, that one is a pretty tough decision. And we got a way to help you with all those tough decisions, because if you're confused who to start, worried you'll make the wrong choice, well, let us do the work for you. Not just us, not just Tara and myself. We're struggling here a little bit because this is, but you can get the entire power of Fantasy Pros behind you and take the stress out of lineup management with My Playbook's Autopilot tool. Autopilot makes it easy to manage your fantasy team's lineup, get suggested lineup changes via email, have us auto swap inactive players out for you, or just turn on that full autopilot mode to have your optimal lineup set every single week. Then you could just like tinker and toy around with it. Use autopilot at fantasypros.com/myplaybook or on the Fantasy Football My Playbook app. Get it today, set it, and forget it. All right. Let's go check in on Tyler. Tyler B with a Christmas tree says start 2 for flex PPR: Mixon, Hawkinson, Addison, Ayuk, Achane. We got a lot.
Ooh.
What do you say?
Man, this is spicy. Ayuk. I would go with Ayuk for sure.
Yeah.
And I lean towards going with Mixon.
Over Hawkinson? It's full PPR.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to stick with Mixon here too, because I'm on his reception yard prop here, and I just think overall the Steelers are beat up. So I think Mixon can get some run here. I will say that Achane has probably got your biggest home run play. You're probably not in a spot where you have to be like, oh, I've got to make a home run call here. But if you were, Achane would be the play. But Mixon, you're going to have to make the decision now. And that's why you can't, because you got to start Ayuk, but Mixon's going today. So if you're going to make that decision, I think we're both leaning Mixon on this. Let me take a look here. I'm curious what the consensus rankers have Mixon and Achane. How far? We've got Mixon at 15, Achane at 21. So that's on the consensus ranks over at FantasyPros for all the rankers that are going on right now. So Mixon does take that lead. That's not considering Hawkinson, who is ranked the 4th tight end. So RB2 versus a top 5 tight end. You could take that, but I'll go with Mixon and Achane as well. Lance West, Jalen Waddle, Ken Walker, or Joe Mixon. Full PPR pick 2. So we can dump Ken Walker here.
Yeah. I agree.
Just easy. Sorry, yeah, easy one here. Football over says half PPR pick 1. James Conner, Ty Chandler, Jalen Warren, Sam Laporta, and thanks pros.
Ooh.
That is spicy, as you would say. This is a spicy one.
That is. I mean, you hate to sit Sam Laporta.
Mhm.
He's in there. Yeah, I might have to start Sam Laporta.
It's Sam Laporta
Who else
versus
is there
Ty
at tight
Chandler.
end?
But you love Ty Chandler, though.
I do, but Laporta is on such a tear right
I
now,
know.
and I like Jared Goff in a dome. I just can't. Oh man, yeah, I gotta go Laporta.
I'm going Laporta too. I'm actually my 2 big championship runs here, semifinal matchups. I have Laporta in both of them, so I am heavily invested. That doesn't necessarily sway the opinion here, but no thanks to Warren. I'm a little bit indifferent. I'm obviously not super on Connor this week, and I'm not as excited as everybody else about Ty Chandler. I still think it's great, but Sam Laporta's on something else. He's on another world here, so we go Sam Laporta. LH says start 1 standard league: Deontay, JSN, or Ferguson, and it's spelled like FRRG, so I went Ferguson.
I mean, Deontay has been scoring the touchdowns, so. but Mason Rudolph, that's so risky.
Mason Rudolph. Do you think he's destined with the name and the Christmas? Do you think it's destiny?
That's a good point, but we're not on Christmas, so.
But it's Christmas Eve, a Rudolph miracle.
No, not yet. Is it Christmas Eve for
him?
No.
Oh yeah, I guess it's Christmas Eve. You're right. So you know what? He's going to fail. You can't. Rudolph is not going to succeed 2 days before Christmas. That's not going to happen.
He hasn't even strapped up for the sleigh yet. Come on.
Yeah, no, but he already failed. He hasn't strapped up, but he hasn't. He's already failed for me. You know what? Yeah. That alone, I'm going to go Ferguson, simply because he's not doing this on Christmas Eve. That's enough for me.
I'll go Ferguson too.
If anybody listened to Bogman is diehard Steelers fan. He's so mad at every Mason Rudolph Christmas joke. It's making him just so angry. So if you find any good Mason Rudolph, just memes or anything like that, just tweet him at Bogman Sports. Just, be like, hey, did you hear that one about Mason Rudolph the night before Christmas? Just do those. It'll be worth it. All right. Rickolas Cage says Murray or Flacco. I guess we already pseudo did this and we decided on Murray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Carnell Jenkins, Eckler or Chuba? Chuba. I like Chuba too much, even though I like Eckler in here. Joshua Ward, happy holidays. Please help. Terry McLaurin or Ty Chandler, full PPR. Excellent. These are, I guess you weren't super into McLaurin, but let's assume Jacoby Brissett is the starter. McLaurin over Chandler. Can you get McLaurin over Chandler in any scenario?
No, because at the end of the day, I still don't like the matchup, so that's also a major issue. So no, I would still go Chandler.
Okay. Oh, John, this picture is so good. By the way, John, you are completely frozen in our back end for me. So it looks like you've been intently looking at one thing on your computer for like 10 minutes. I can't see you. Is there a way you can share this? This is so good. John just put in, it's a Mason Rudolph dressed as Rudolph picture in our chat. If we could get this on air at any point, it would be phenomenal, because I think this is exactly what we want. And this might sway me. I might sway back. Like, I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking like, this is what Magic is made of right here. Are you seeing that, Tara?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love that. And by
There
the
it
way,
is.
I didn't realize John was frozen. Oh, I love that.
Look at that.
So
Look
good.
at, I mean, how do you not bet on this guy today now after seeing that? Look at the
Mm.
nose and everything.
It's
That is
true.
Mason Rudolph. That's to make him so mad. I'm
It's
sending that to
true.
him the minute this is done. But it looks like
I
John
didn't
had been
realize
working
that
on
John
that.
was frozen. Yeah, it does. And as we were making our Rudolph jokes, and I'm like, why is he not smiling? Because I like to look for John to smile.
I know. Yeah, no one ever understands, like, anyone who's working behind the scenes. Like, I do the same thing. Like, I'm always looking for approval. I'm like, oh, did I do something funny? Like, if I see John like snicker or whatever, I'm like, all right, that was good. I did something right here.
Yep.
But we have not gotten approval for like 10 minutes. John is still just like intense looking at that. So
Like,
thank you for sharing.
it's like,
that.
dang, we're not that funny.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. You know what? We have to guess the rest of the way. I don't know if John's in a good mood right now. We just asked all that
Right.
that Rudolph thing, and he did it. So I'm assuming he is. He's in the Christmas spirit. I've never seen John in a bad mood. So never. All right, let's keep going here. That Rudolph thing's so good. Tri Boy Sports, Fields or Tua?
Fields.
Yes. Yeah, they were already kind of on the fence about Tua. Celine Garcia says, please, this is urgent. Okay, we got you. Zeke, Barkley, or JSN for upside at flex? We'll start there. And there's another part.
Oh.
For upside, the important thing here.
Yeah, that is a major problem there, because I do think technically the upside probably lies with Zeke. I have Saquon ranked higher, but the upside is with Zeke.
Saquon is the loneliest number. Saquon is.
I think you got to go with Zeke.
I think you got to go with Zeke as well. I think Zeke is the play. I like Barkley in a lot of instances. The FantasyPros rankers, by the way, have I just saw it. Where did it go? Barkley is down at 23 this week, and Elliott is at 17. So regardless of that, doesn't matter. I do think the upside play is Zeke, which sounds crazy. So that's where I'm going to go as well. And then also Jets, Browns, or Bills defense.
I lean towards the Bills defense.
Yeah, Bills are actually the number 1 rated defense on FantasyPros consensus ranks for all the people. I do not rank defenses, but a lot of people do. They are number 1. Jets are number 2, though. I actually kind of like the Jets a little bit, but either one I think is a good play. I just, the Jets going up against Washington, I think they can be. Obviously, we've seen Washington just completely ball out. They just haven't been as of recent. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those, but you might want to go Bills just on the high consensus side. So there you go, Celine. Giancarlo says, happy holidays, guys. Do I start Eckler or Ford at RB2?
Eckler. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. Oh, you're just with me with Eckler. It makes me happy. Also out of Noah Brown, Josh Palmer, and the leftover running back, who do you put in at flex? So now it is Ford, Palmer, Noah Brown.
I'm not really down with Ford this week. Between Noah Brown and Josh Palmer, I mean, I do think it is oddly close because I do think that Josh Palmer is going to operate as the wide receiver 1 there. So when I'm looking at the both of them, I do like them both. I lean towards Josh Palmer. I'm guessing you lean Noah Brown.
It's actually really, I don't have Noah Brown bets this week, and I've got Josh Palmer bets because it's super low. One of the things that don't add up a little bit though is like you also look the Bills number 1 rated defense this week, and it's Easton Stick trying to move that offense for Palmer. So I worry about that like a tiny bit. They're ranked next to each other on the consensus ranks, both not even wide receiver threes. Noah Brown is 39. Palmer is 40. I think I would go Palmer because he is the number one. This team is probably playing from behind. There's really no reason for them to be running a ton. I do like Noah Brown, but dude, Josh Palmer's receiving yard. But what do you think Josh Palmer's receiving yard prop was, Tara? Like with Keenan Allen was out, and this is what was posted out.
Yeah.
What do you think it should be?
What it should be or what it is?
Both. Those are both good questions.
I think it's probably about 52.
Okay.
And I think it should be, well, I think upper 50s is what it should be. I think that's reasonable.
38 is what it was. 38 was yesterday. Yeah, low number, 38 and a half yards on books yesterday. And I smashed that because he is the number one receiver. They'll be playing from behind. And to your exact point, it just seemed really, I understand it because Easton Stick is the quarterback, but number one wide receiver in a Chargers offense, 38 yards? Nah, we're good. We're good. Fun fact, Bills have given up that amount of yards, at least that amount of yards or more, to every single number one wide receiver in every single game they've played this entire season, except for one game. The New York Jets wide receivers did not have 39 yards. Every other wide receiver, number one, has at least gotten that prop. So just throwing that out there. But, Easton Stick, of course. Okay, so we answered that. Be More Savage, desperate for help here. We want to help right here on this holiday weekend. PPR start 3 out of Zeke, Flowers, McLaurin, Montgomery, and Noah Brown again. So we got to pick 3.
Zeke.
Easy.
Oh man, are we trusting Zay Flowers after that disappearance act? Which,
I really
by the
think
way,
that is a bounce
it knocked me out of the Scott Fish Bowl. So,
oh no, Zay alone.
It was the combination. Tyreek was out. Michael Pittman going down with if Michael Pittman had played, I would have gotten the full game. But the combination of that and Zay Jones just not existing, 10 points. That's all I needed.
Oh my, you lost that. Okay, that's gross.
Like I needed you to be there.
Needed you to be there for me, and you weren't. He is going up against the Niners secondary, though, which stinks. I think the 49ers are going to be hyper-focused on some run stop, as always. And that team is 100% going to have talked all week long about how they got the ball in Zay's hands once. And I think he only had like 3 or 4 targets total. I think they're going to get the ball back into his hands. I have trust back into Flowers this week. I'm going to go into trust. Also, we got props coming back down. I'll just tell you this. Anytime Zay Flowers' receiving yard props have been in the 40s, that dude has paid off. When it gets into those 50s, there's been disappointments. I don't know what that is about. I like Zeke. I like Flowers. And I'll probably go Montgomery here as well. So those are my 3.
Yeah, I lean those 3 as well.
Oh, I didn't even think. Is it sad too? Like, I like to Noah Brown and McLaurin, and I don't know. McLaurin might be at the bottom for me. I might go Noah Brown over him, but maybe I'm getting a little too Noah Brownish.
I would still go McLaurin over Noah Brown. I still think that we're going to see there are certain quarterbacks that, and this is not a statistical thing, but there are certain quarterbacks that have that type of personality that after they put out an absolutely dreadful performance, they will go out and throw up a miracle to try and redeem themselves. And I do think that Sam Howell is capable of doing that. So yeah, I think Terry could be fine.
I can't, fine. The back end here, like when you're talking, like looks like John is looking down on you, frozen in like a very intense, like not judgment, but like very intense face as you're going. It's just very funny. You guys can't see it, but like if it's like quadrants, like I'm here, John's here, Tara's here, and then it looks like John is like just looking down, frozen at Tara. That's our back end. I hope he's okay, John. We hope you're okay. All right, Gee Whiz. 1978, Pollard, Taylor, or Hall. We need 2. So we're benching Who are we benching here? Oh, we're benching Pollard, I think.
Yeah, we're benching Pollard.
I like
Sorry,
that
Tony.
reaction of yours. Yep. So, MC47. It's a defensive question. We've got Browns, Bears, or Bills. I think we already talked about the Bills. Bills are tippy tops.
Yeah, we're going Bills.
Yeah, Bills. We
By
ride.
the way, Chris, as much as we do you know what position, oddly enough, I am the highest ranked in out of all the positions for me.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be defense. Is it defense?
It's defenses.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why?
I've fallen apart.
I think I think it's because I'm more willing to lean heavier on streaming options, but yeah, oddly enough, I would have thought that heading into the season, but it's been a good defensive ranking season for me.
Yeah, I think I mean my ranks have kind of fallen off a little bit. I had a couple weeks. It's just when you miss like getting someone out, it's killed me. I think my best ranked position has actually been tight end this year. I finished, I think, number 1 week in tight end. I had a couple really good wide receiver weeks as well. I may have had like a top 12 in each position at some point in the year. So I've just got to hone that in. But tight end, I feel like I've had quite a few like high ones. So I'm probably up there. I'll take a look at some point. That's fun. We'll see where our highest is overall.
Identify our specialties.
That's right. Exactly.
By the way, can we do one question in particular? Because because this person, I appreciate this person's support. The Brian Lafort question.
Let's see.
Which was the Mayfield. Yeah, Brian Lafort. It was right before that one. Brian Lafort, Mayfield.
Oh, did I skip it?
Tua, Minshew, and Goff.
Okay, so Mayfield, Tua, Minshew, Goff. Shout out to Brian Lafort. Shout out too that I guess I skipped. That's my bad. So Mayfield, Tua, Minshew, or Goff. How do you have? I guess there's probably guys on the wire. Those are some really good options. Let me guess. Intuition, Goff for Tara.
It is Goff.
I know.
Yes, Goff in a dome. There we go.
Oh yeah, indoor cat, as Joe says. I still lean Tua, man. I'm gonna go with Tua here, but I'm down with Goff. It's those two, by the way. Like it's not the other guys. Minshew and Mayfield, I'd kick out here. It is Goff or Tua. I lean Tua. You've got Goff. Brian's a big supporter of you, so you gotta go Goff here. You don't let Tara down here. All right. Let's go back. Dominic, start 2 in the flex, full PPR. Flowers, Nico, Judy, Ferguson, Hollywood. Help me get to the ship, pros. All right, so Hollywood, see ya. Judy, see ya. So this is, and you know what? Ferguson, see ya. This is Flowers and Nico. We've kicked them off the island. No red roses for them, but Nico and Flowers move on. How appropriate. Roses for Flowers, right?
Oh, yes. Exactly.
Right. Sorry, that was like an easy one. I took that over. Let's see. Rissa 1382. Merry Christmas to you too, as well. Full PPR. Pick 1. Noah Brown, Curtis Samuel, Boyd, or Dontavian Wicks.
As of right now, it is Curtis Samuel. It could be Wicks, but right now it's Curtis Samuel.
As of right now, for me, it's Noah Brown. But if Jaden and Christian Watson are officially out, it's definitely Wicks for me. So Wicks is the high riser. Curtis Samuel's not a bad option. I just think, okay, let me phrase it like this. If you want safety and Tara's just talking, I just lost by 10 points. If you just want to make sure you get 8 points, in full PPR, full PPR. Curtis Samuel, great option. 4 catches, 40-something yards. You know you're getting that from Samuel. Absolutely. If you're going for upside, that's why I'm choosing Noah Brown and Wicks. I personally believe that Brown is going to have like a solid floor as well with big upside. And I think Wicks had 6 for 97, I think, last week. We're going to see another performance like that, especially with Reed and Watson out. So I think that's kind of your baselines here. Samuel is a very safe option. I think, would you agree with kind of the assessment of the floor versus upside with these guys?
I do. The only thing that mildly concerns me about Wicks is the matchup has just been a complete nightmare all season long. And for Curtis Samuel, he's not getting sauce. So he could just get easily peppered with targets there. So I worry that if Wicks gets, and really with Carolina, there's multiple guys in that secondary that can absolutely blink at you. So it's risky. The upside is there, but it is the riskier matchup, in my opinion. That's the only hesitation that I have.
Okay, I gotcha. Financially Fit says, need help, caps and exclamations. Full PPR, Singletary or Pacheco. They also wanted to mention they hate Casey running back. So if that's important to you.
I get that. But we do have McKinnon that has not practiced. And I don't know what's going on with EH because it's not specified. Like his injury was listed as personal, so I don't really know what's going on with that. If we were to not have both of those running backs, then we're looking at an aggressive workload and receiving upside for Isaiah Pacheco. You know how those matchups go. I mean, it could be such a good game for him. So I get the frustration that comes with Kansas City running backs, but he could be the only option there. And unfortunately, you do have to decide that right now. So I can lean towards Singletary just because you can't really wait for that information. But just overall, I do really like Pacheco this week. I do.
I'm gonna go with Pacheco. That's gonna be my my go-to for the week. So I'm locked in on Pacheco. I'm not in love with Singletary probably like I should be. I didn't even pay attention to the time. Speed round. We're in lightning round here. I don't think we have a decent, we got a lot here. We got a decent chance to maybe get to all of these. So let's speed round these bad boys. Oh no, I scanned and I may have lost my spot. So, all right, we're going to have to jump. So I may be missing some questions. So I apologize because I stupidly scanned down here. All right. No, I found it. All right, here we go. We've got need to start Walker or Barkley or ETN half PPR.
Walker.
It's a flex too. We RB or flex. So I'm gonna go Barkley and ETN.
Oh, I would go Walker and ETN.
Okay. Oh, we got John back. Full PPR need to fill wide receiver 2 and flex. Ridley, Godwin, Addison, Chandler, Singletary. We have to have a wide receiver in here.
I lean towards Ridley.
Okay.
And then what were the other ones? Sorry, I don't know.
Now you're flexing Godwin, Addison, Chandler, Singletary. Now flex.
Chandler.
Yes, agreed. Okay. Okay. All right. We got two things here. All right. We just got word that. Okay. We got. This is funny. Zach Moss is officially out. Sorry, you guys didn't. I don't think any of you heard that. John told us Zach Moss has officially been ruled out as Jonathan Taylor is healthy, so that is good. And this is hilarious. We've got. I hope you're going to put this up as we answer this. Okay. Good. We got one from X little D man X. This is quite a name. Flacco or Gino full PPR is going to be the question. And maybe we have to take this to AI. I don't even know if this is AI here. Look at that picture. That is a live look at Joe Flacco winning you guys championships at the ripe old age of 87. Look at that. That looks just like him too.
It's good
stuff. This is so good. All right. So is that man going to win you a championship, Tara?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like yeah.
That looked like Clint Eastwood playing Joe Flacco and like his own movie directing.
I was going Longest Yard. Like I feel like I'm looking at Billy Bob Thornton and Longest Yard.
Like, well, you have to ask yourself one question, punk. You're lucky. All right. Did you have any? Did we say Flacco or Gino? I think we said Gino before.
Gino. Yeah. I like Gino. I like this matchup for Gino. Yes.
You're gonna regret that, punk. All right. I said lightning and we're all right. So let's go. Go. Chandler, Singletary, Evan Ingram, half PPR. Chandler.
What was that?
Chandler. It's Chandler, Singletary, or
yes,
Ingram. All right. Pollard, Laporta, or Njoku. Start one. Laporta.
Laporta. It's rough though with the
Yeah.
but
Ingram or Ferguson from Roberto? Oof.
Ingram.
Ingram too. Slot, maybe. All right. Mullins or Browning at quarterback? Browning.
I low key like Mullins this
Browning?
week. Browning though is
Okay.
the more. Yeah, I do like Mullins this week. But Browning.
Half PPR Hawkinson or Njoku with a side note, or we can flex one of them over David Montgomery. So you could, in theory, play both if you wanted to bench Montgomery.
I would, in fact, flex over Montgomery.
Ooh, so 2 tight ends. That'll wait. Get Flacco back on here. Wait, where do we have Flacco still? We're talking about Njoku because I just want everybody to know that this man right here that has saved David Njoku. Yeah, I love that guy.
That's him.
He's a great tight end.
Thank you, Joe Flacco.
Thank you, old man Flacco. Flacco has absolutely saved David Njoku's career. I could get down with that in half PPR. I don't know. I still think Montgomery is a threat, but yeah, I could do. I mean, Njoku's becoming safe for 5 or 6 catches every single game and is a touchdown threat. I mean, that old man
has higher upside than Montgomery. We haven't seen that upside game from Montgomery in a while. Gibbs dominating.
Throw that ball 7 yards, and that guy runs. It's great. All right. Chandler or Barkley full PPR?
Chandler.
Barkley. Pollard or Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry bounce back this week.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Nico or Deontay? Nico. Ooh. Raheem Mostert, Bijan, or Jahmyr Gibbs? You can only pick one? Oh, no.
I still... dang. Raheem.
Okay. All right. I'm leaning Gibbs because I benched him. These are all really, really close. It's not Bijan for me. I'm going to go with Jahmyr, but yeah, those are super. It's stupid that those are you have to put all of them in somehow to sit other people.
You have all top 10 backs this week.
I know, it's ridiculous. Hunter Henry or Kincaid?
Kincaid. Hunter Henry's not. I don't know. We don't feel good about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess Kincaid. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah.
If Henry was healthy, I would start Henry over him, but I don't think I would not risk it.
All right. Jesse's got a lot of stars. Help, please. Semifinals. Wide receiver 1, more. Wide receiver 2, Palmer, flex. I'm not really understanding the question. So is this Palmer, flex? I have London and Gus Bus on the bench as well as Nico. You starting any of those guys? You have to take Flowers. This is not the good fast question. Flowers is in a flex. Palmer's wide receiver 2. I don't know who Moore is at wide receiver 1. Do you want to get London in or Gus somehow?
Says Nico too, but yeah, Nico went over Flowers.
Yeah. Who is Moore? How stupid am I? Is DJ. That like Eli Moore? Oh, DJ. Is that DJ? Okay, yeah. Then DJ to the moon. Yeah, I would get Nico in over probably Palmer. I'd keep Flowers in and go Palmer. Yeah. All right. Zeke or Connor? Zeke. Laporta or McBride?
Laporta.
All right, that's it. That's all we can do. We can't do anymore. I'm sorry. I tried to push the limits. That's it. Thank you guys. Tons and tons of great questions. You know, you can find us on Twitter. It's Terra Time. Is it the Welsh? Those are both of our handles. If you guys want to shoot us some questions, help you guys out here. A little bit different because we've got this entire Sunday slate that's tomorrow, but it's Christmas Eve. So enjoy yourselves some time. Make those tough decisions today and don't put yourself through the stress tomorrow. Thank you to John for everything. We had a lot of fun there. Those AI pictures were hilarious. And I'm going to be thinking about Old Man Flacco and the Mason Rudolph one. So I'll be saving those from the Slack and sending them out to people. Thank you guys for hanging out with us as you always do. And this new time. Good luck today. Have a fantastic holiday weekend. And we will talk to you, at least we will talk to you next week right here on Fantasy Pros. Bye, friends.